This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain adult language, violence, and sexual themes, as well as shocking revelations. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where tonight my friends and I will be playing the Mothership role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is called Tears of Apollo. It was written by Morgan Llewellyn, who is also our warden. This is a one-shot. So without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Morgan?
Thank you very much, Thom. The ship Robin's flight exits faster than light travel and begins to drift slowly across the far-flung solar system, approaching the planet Hermes 7, a desolate gray rock. The ship carries an aging business executive, Desmond Beckett, who has chartered this private vessel to take him to what he hopes to be a miracle. The crew is slowly being woken up from its cryo sleep, beginning with the captain of the ship, Travis Brody. So, Travis, at this point a known sensation. You've come in and out of cryo sleep an innumerable amount of times over the years. How are you feeling?
Yeah, a little lightheaded, sick to my stomach, but nothing I can't handle probably. So, it's kind of stagger around. Is our synthetic science officer still awake, or do I have to revive him as well?
I think the synthetic science officer, Galen, is wide awake.
Okay.
Oh, yes. I've
Then
been waiting for you this entire time. It's good to see you up and in good spirits.
Thanks, Galen. Why don't we start waking up the others?
Certainly. I'll see to it immediately.
What's the status of our course? Everything okay?
All systems nominal.
Great.
So the rest of your crew starts waking up, and towards the end, as it goes in levels of seniority, comes one of the lowest ranked people on the ship, a security officer, privately contracted. How do you feel, Cole, waking up?
I have a Marine background. I've done this a lot, so I think I'm up and ready. I'm pushing down any like sickness, not, kind of just forcing it away, forgetting about it. And I get out and kind of stretch and look around and find my ukulele right where I put it. And it's kind of a tradition. I get up and just kind of strum it a little bit, tune it a little bit, and that's kind of how I start all my exits out of hypersleep.
One of your fellow security contractors, a fellow named Bruno, says, "Haha, we're awake to the great sounds of Cole. You ever gonna actually learn how to play that damn thing?"
You know what? Probably not, because it bothers you, and that's just it's just a little glimmer of, sunshine to the start of all of this. So here's a new song I wrote for you. Fuck off. That's it. That's the song.
All right, well, fuck you too, Cole.
Yeah.
Further back in the ship, the passengers start to awake one by one. Those that Desmond Beckett has brought with him to see him through what may be his final days. Various medical personnel, some personal acquaintances, and among them, Father Samuel. How
Yes,
much
every day is a gift.
every day is a gift? How often do you travel between the stars?
Oh, not very often. I've gone on a number of missions to the outer rim, but in this case, uh, uh, I was hired, if you will. Um, uh, it's not simony. It's just they figured a priest should be riding along with him just in case he needed the final rites. I've yet to hear his confession, so I think that he's off on a wild goose chase looking for miracles other than God's miracles. But what can you do?
Poe
Patience
put
is a virtue.
Poe puts the ukulele down. It's like, Father Samuel, did you bless our great awakening?
I was just about to,
Oh,
yes. Uh,
please do so.
may the Lord bless us and keep us. And I pull out my little prayer book and recite the prayers that I just recite. And does anyone know where we are? I mean, how close are we to Hermes 7?
I could probably answer that if I'm in earshot or can hear them, but
Yeah, yeah, you're still in the cryo chamber. It's this long hallway like structure in the center of the ship.
okay. Well, I'll double check it, but we should be about 1 day out.
It's quite remote. In the early years of Christianity, there were many people who went out as far as they could into the wilderness to their own private desolations and wanted to be all alone with God. I don't know how they survived, but I guess people brought them food occasionally. Uh, I don't know
There's
who
a lot.
this person is we're going to see that would live out here all alone. A mystic, psychic. We'll
Or
see.
asking a lot of people to be alone with God.
We had to give ourselves plenty of space. There's a bunch of debris around this planet left over from the war. Bunch of
Ah,
satellites and space station junk. A little tricky to maneuver around.
well, may God be with you in all of
And
his many forms.
and slowly Desmond's medical team begins to wake up. They're led by Dr. Islia Hayden, and she starts talking with the various nurses and other doctors who form the bulk of the passengers. And they begin to congregate around Desmond's cryopod, assembling various apparatus, talking amongst themselves. They seem to be ignoring all of you. Um, and then they turn to you, Father Samuel, and they're like, "All right, priest, we're gonna wake him up."
Yes. All right. Uh, may their blessings of God look down upon your venture. Proceed.
Well, let's see if the old man wakes up. You know, Cap, we might be able to leave here early if he doesn't.
Well, let's hope he does. I want to get paid.
Yeah, I do too. All right. And they start the sequence, and slowly Desmond Beckett wakes up. He is currently this over cryosleep was his 178th birthday. He is, despite all of the artificial components of his body, the surgeries, the drugs, age has begun to tell on his face. His skin is covered with all sorts of spots and lesions as his body has begun to decay. His immune system has started to fail. They help him out of the cryopod and into a wheelchair, and they start hooking him up to all sorts of things, IV, various monitors, and so forth. And he coughs, and he says, where is the captain?"
That'd be me. I'm here. What can I do for you?
I'm just wondering, how long will I have to wait before we get to Hermes 7?
Not long, just a few hours. I was just telling the rest of your crew here that we have to navigate around some space junk to get there. So I recommend you take the time and just come out of, take your time coming out of cryo sleep and rehydrate, those kinds of things.
I have so little of that left time.
I'll get us there just as soon as I can.
Good, that is what I'm paying you for.
Safety is paramount.
Yes. Wouldn't want anything to happen to your precious ship.
Well, the crew is most important. And the cargo,
Right.
of course.
And the cargo.
Yeah, off to the side. Me and Bruno have kind of moved off, and I kind of nod towards Desmond. I was like, if I ever get to that state, you stick my head in a toilet until I quit moving, please.
Like you could fucking afford to be in that state.
I mean, hooked up. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't want to. Our shit's supposed to fail, man. I mean, my liver's supposed to give out when I drink too much. My arm's supposed to not be replaced when it gets blown off.
Better to, what is it? A bright candle burns shorter or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a philosophizer.
Yeah. Go out with a bullet through my heart. And then don't fucking fix it. That's all I ask.
Enjoy it while you can and end it quick.
Yep.
I'm gonna take a moment to try to pull aside the crew and just give them a little talk. Just be like, listen up, guys. These guys are paying us a lot of money, so I want this job done without any hitches. All right, just whatever they need, just do it with a smile on your face. If everything gets done correctly and we get paid, we could spend the next year escorting rich party kids around the moons of Sappho 6, okay?
Yeah. I'm gonna take
Light-
this rich fuck script, but I mean, what do you expect from me? I mean, should I be taking a gun or I mean,
I've never been here before. I'd say whatever's necessary, but try to keep it out of sight unless it's absolutely necessary.
yeah, all right.
No need to freak them out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's syllable.
Yeah.
Got it.
The planet
There's-
was once populated, although it is the common understanding that all life was eliminated in the war. There is always the possibility that there were survivors that have just survived undetected on the world since then. I would take all proper precautions, Mr. McIntyre, please.
All right, I'll
What?
stick something in the back of my belt and carry a knife.
Galen,
Like I
what's the
said.
current level of radiation? Has it
Oh,
mostly dissipated?
Fortunately, a great deal of modern nuclear weapons are designed in a much more efficient fashion, and tend not to leave large quantities of radioactive byproducts in the atmosphere. The safety levels are quite within acceptable risks. Living there for any extended period of time would require some selective habitation or perhaps low-level terraforming, but we will not be there for an extended period of time, so it is of no concern.
So, some rumors that all of you would be aware of. Hermes 7 is out of the way, and seldom does anybody ever come out here. Um, However, given its remoteness and people's general aversion to visiting it, um, there are plenty of rumors of criminals, pirate gangs, um, anybody who's exiled for any number of reasons, whether it be from corporate politics or anything. There's all manner of people who are rumored to be hiding out here. Whether any of those rumors are true, nobody knows. But this is like, this place is anybody who travels through the stars in this area of the galaxy are kind of Hermes 7 is kind of like the ghost story. Um, you know, that's where so and so's hiding out for the end of his days. Um,
which is probably true.
Enough
So
rumors,
this,
one of them is bound to be true.
you know, so one must always watch one's back.
Yeah, it means I should be armed too.
But it's also, as I said, a good place for mystics to come who are trying to get away from all of the people bothering them all the time with questions or with requests for more life. They used to choose the tops of mountains or the tops of pillars to hide, but no, people always find them.
Oh, were this a millennia ago, rather than the mystics themselves, he would perhaps be coming here for the radioactive waters of the planet itself as a life-giving, vitalizing force.
Well, you know as well as I do that radiation doesn't really work like that, does it? To have entertainments in the old days with people getting bit by small radioactive crabs and becoming superheroes. It's just not true. Nevertheless, what are we going to do for the next uh, day? Or how many hours do we have? I should probably do math.
I'm gonna prep all my shit that, shoot shit.
You're
I'm gonna
probably
go up to that.
16 hours out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go up to the cockpit and start just, manning the radar and looking out for space junk, space debris.
I'll hold religious services in the next hour. I'll do them.
Oh, the next
You don't
hour?
have to attend unless you're obliged by your a member of the Universal Holistic Church.
I mean, I'd love to, but as always, I just got other shit to do. It's just a weird scheduling thing, Father. Maybe one day we'll sync up and I can come be blessed.
God understands these things.
God
Work has to
understands.
be done.
Do not take it as an insult, but I attempt to avoid human spiritual gatherings. I've found that my presence is often a distraction, or occasionally greatly off-putting. And from one of his pockets, he pulls out and unfolds a little pamphlet that is titled "Against Human Simulacra."
Oh,
Uh, it's
that's
it's a common belief among your kind that I should not exist.
I don't believe that, Galen. If you ever have questions, come and ask. I believe that all life forms are, including ones that are made of metal and electricity, are just as valid. God loves everyone. This is very similar to that other pamphlet I found lying around. What was it? Your Reality and You? A strange mixture of nihilism and atheism.
Are you telling me, Father, that, you know, when I finally take one through the heart and find myself at the pearly gates, there's going to be a long line of synthetics there with me?
Well, I'm not sure they come to the pearly gates. They might go to the alloy gates, or I don't know. I don't have the answers to that, but
I
aren't
mean,
we all right down to our core just chemical reactions and atoms? God made it all, so
Besides,
it's
if
all
this mission
holy.
is successful, perhaps there will be less need of you to visit the pearly gates, so to speak.
oh, I'm going to die as nature intended it, in pain and suffering.
God
Well,
had
Miss,
very serious intentions when he invented death, mostly because people tend to become more evil the older they get. And I glance over at
Yeah,
Desmond
I'm
Beckett. There's
throwing a thumb back that way, tapping my patch that says "Eat the rich."
I appreciate your fundamental dedication to the mortal nature of humanity, Mr. McIntyre. I suppose in your line of work, that's a critical component.
If I hit 50, it's a disappointment.
Well, consider it this way. There are worse alternatives. It could be that your entire line of people, such as yourselves, are considered redundant and are simultaneously retired in a forced obsolescence program. Uh,
You can't replace a Marine. I don't care what they do. There's something wired in us that's not wired in you. You can't replace us. There will always be need for the Marines.
oh, I'm certain of that fact.
If you'll excuse me, gentlemen, I'm going to go prepare. And I go to the chapel. I assume there's a chapel.
I mean, this is Travis's ship. Do you have a religious facility on your ship, or are you gonna?
No, but we can makeshift one if the
Yeah,
if that's what's required. I
a
mean,
little corner.
McIntyre, set something up for them, would you?
Yeah, I know a unused closet next to the bathroom. That would be
That works.
perfect for religious setting.
So yeah, McIntyre, as you're setting up this back storage room into
A
it,
kit.
you're moving boxes around to be makeshift seating. You find a good ammo storage container, this nice metal heavy thing to serve as an altar.
Yeah.
Um, Father Samuel, how are you
Thank
preparing?
you.
What does this service look like? What are you preparing
Well,
to
I've
do?
I've got a kit. It opens up. It's got everything that I need to do the religious service. Um, it's it's closest to what Roman Catholic services would look like. Um, I don't know that anybody is communing, but I drink the communion if nobody else does. I've got my cross and my other things, and whether anybody attends or not, I go through the ritual.
Yeah, I put you
Yeah, well, as you're As you're finishing up your preparations, you see Dr. Hayden wheels in Desmond Beckett. There's a few nurses trailing behind them, and you get a member of the crew or two, just some maintenance people who come in. And Desmond is wheeled all the way up to the front.
Okay. I turn around, I go over to Desmond, and I lean down close to him and I say, did you want to commune? Do you want to have your confession heard?
I hold out the hope, Father, that there's still more time left for me. Such things make me think too much about the end.
I understand. Of course, if it is the end, then it's too late to confess. Perhaps you have things on your mind that you'd like to get off your chest.
Yes, maybe that would be good for the soul.
Okay. So I lean down so that he can whisper if he wants to.
Father, I have tried my best to live a good life. The company I help run uh, is named after, taken after the Holy Scriptures. Bethesda. We have sought to cure humanity of its ills, including perhaps blasphemously, uh, if I know your tenets correctly, of death. Our own products have extended my life to the ripe old age of 178. Centuries ago, this would be unthinkable, miraculous even. But it seems that even our products cannot extend my life to the very end. A man can commit a lot of sins in 178 years, and I won't bother you or God with a detailed list of them. I'm sure he already knows.
Do you
But
regret them? Are you sad that you do you feel like you made mistakes and that you did your best to try and fix the mistakes?
all men make mistakes.
That's true.
And I have done many things that people would deem unforgivable in the name of advancing my business. Um, but no, I might have to answer to God and say, no, I do not regret them.
Well, I remind you only of this one thing, and that's you have done remarkable work in extending the life of human beings. 178 years is a good long time. But even if you extended it to 510,000 years, still eventually you'd probably have to face death. And there's always accidents. I've heard statistically the most you'd probably live is 600 years before you'd have some horrible accident that would kill you.
Yeah,
So
well,
death
here's
is
hoping
always
for
around the
the,
corner.
yeah, some of my colleagues believe in cloning themselves or uploading themselves to some damnable archive of some sort, but I don't believe any of that. I don't want a copy of me to survive. I want to survive.
I understand.
Call it instinct. If we
Let
have
us all.
instincts for survival, then God, if he created us, put it there. So in a way, I'm doing God's work by trying to survive for as long as possible.
I think we all hope deep down inside that the person that we are will not cease to exist and that it'll go on forever. I believe that it will in some form or another. We
Yeah,
know
so
that
let's,
time and space itself has recorded what we've done, and that will never change, not forever.
yes, well, I'm hopelessly and perhaps sinfully bound to the present.
Well, let's do as everything that we can to keep you here then.
Yes, I thought you might understand.
Just hope you can deal with the boredom eventually. 178 years. Is there
There's
anything you haven't done?
there's so much work left to do.
Agreed. All right. And I say the prayers over him, and
Mhm.
then I go and start mass. I
Okay.
give him communion and whatever.
Yeah. Cole, do you stick around for this or do you just leave?
I think I'm leaning against a wall, not quite out of earshot. Just kind of just shaking my head at all the living forever and
Caitlin
And
comes in, stands along the back wall next to Cole, but standing at rapt attention instead.
a few
It,
people
it prob-
turn to look at you, Galen. Some of them look at you, they're just looking at who's in the back of the room and they turn immediately back. You see a few people hold their gaze. Some of them look confused, some of them look angry, but nobody does anything.
would you do this whole time, Galen, that we were sleeping?
Oh, it's generally checklist material. I imagine you would find it immensely boring. Uh,
I mean, we operate on a lot of checklists.
well, this is a rather well-maintained ship. There's not much to go wrong and correct and anything like that. And I know typically that's what humans find exciting. Variation, problems to solve, things like that. If I had a limbic system, I imagine I would have gone mad on the trip.
Yeah, we do enjoy when shit hits the fan sometimes. Reminds you of why you're living.
Well, should
Reminds you
shit
that
hit the fan on the planet, I would appreciate if you can help to protect me. Unfortunately, my uh, do no harm protocols somewhat limit my ability to protect myself and others.
you get a chuckle whenever you say shit hits the fan. Cole kind of chuckles and kind of relaxes, and it's like, yeah, yeah, that's what I'm here for. I'm paid to protect whoever, whatever. So
Should you die in a horrible fashion, I will mourn your death, but I will find some, perhaps the word is peace, in knowing that it is what you desired.
yes, all I ask is you drag my carcass off that planet and then shoot it into the stars.
I will retrieve the bulk of your corpse to the best of my ability, should it come to that.
Whatever's left. You're not bad, Galen, and I
Go in
slap you
peace.
on your chest and take off down the hall.
Okay. So while this communion is happening, Travis, you're up in the cockpit making adjustments.
Yep.
And you hear this voice from behind you. You don't recognize it. Um, it sounds young, it sounds male. Um, and it says, in 7 minutes, you'll have to do a hard burn to the right, to starboard.
Who is that?
And kind of standing at the doorway to the cockpit, you see this young man. He's dressed very plainly, in various kind of this gray shawl. He's bent over a little bit. He has long, tangled hair. Um,
Who are you?
it, I'm Tan Alex.
Okay. Tan, not supposed to be in the cockpit while we're flying.
I thought you should be warned. In 7 minutes, you'll have to hard burn to starboard.
Uh, okay, well, we'll see. Why don't you go back with the others for now, and I'll keep an eye out. Thanks for that.
And he just like he doesn't seem to move. He just stares at you. You just get this cold feeling, um, almost shivers.
Okay. And I guess I'll get on the intercom and I'll be like, Galen, can you join me in the comm, please?
Certainly, I'll be there shortly. And yeah, I guess off I leave out of Father Samuel's mass, kind of bowing apologetically before I leave the room.
I'll do an additional scan, like a radar scan, what's in front of the ship, and see if there's anything that I might have missed.
There's all sorts of debris out here. Moving the computer's doing its best to track all the trajectories, but it can only calculate so much at a given time. So at the moment,
Hmm.
it seems like your path is safe.
Okay. And I'll just
And, and
nervously wait until Galen arrives.
yeah, Galen, you
Yeah.
arrive at the comm, and yeah, you see this young man again with this long tangled hair, but he's clean shaven. He's has a hunched back, simply dressed, and he's staring down Travis.
Hunchback in the sense of a medical condition, or hunchback like just bad slouch?
They're really kind of a very bad slouch.
Okay.
Um, Galen, you've been going the checklist, making sure nobody in cryo has died, over the last, year and a half that everyone was asleep. So this is Tan Alex. He's one of the persons that um, Desmond Beckett has brought with him. Um, and he turns to you, and he looks at you. You're a synthetic?
That is correct.
Oh, well, I don't like you. Can't read you.
Well, I apologize that my presence displeases you, but it is necessary for the mission.
Galen, why don't you double check my course plotting here, just to be sure?
Certainly. I'll give it a look. Everything seems adequate. You have done your usual masterful job. Your years of training continue to have paid off. I,
Great.
oh,
All right. And what did you say you did again, Mr. Tan
Alex.
and Alex?
Captain, he is one of our benefactor's guests. His occupation was not listed on the manifest.
What is it you do for Mr. Beckett, Mr. Alex?
I do all number of things. This time, I'm here to find someone and make sure we don't all die. That wasn't in the contract, but I'll make sure of it anyway. It's 2 minutes from now, by the way, that hard burn.
Galen, can you do another radar sweep in front of us?
Certainly. And I'm guessing I continue to find nothing particularly out of the
You
ordinary.
find nothing out of the ordinary.
Well, Mr. Alex, instruments don't lie.
No, I don't lie either.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll keep an eye on it, but
Good. And he still just stands there staring at you.
I will just keep an eye on the stars and try hard to ignore the eyes burning into the back of my neck.
And as the time approaches, your systems start to freak out.
The hell?
And slipping out from behind a piece of the debris is a mine left over from the war that starts to magnetically lock onto you.
Oh God, Galen, hard left.
Certainly, sir. And yeah, I'll try to, jerk to the side, put some piece of debris between that and the ship.
Yeah, so everybody else, you get thrown suddenly as you go into high G maneuvers. Um, and you manage to avoid it. It seals onto some bit of debris and explodes. But the ship is unharmed.
Sorry, folks. Sorry about that. There is some unexpected debris in our path.
Well, Mr. Alix, it appears that your grasp of orbital mechanics or your familiarity with this system are quite unparalleled. Thank you for the assistance.
And when you turn around, he's gone.
Jesus, did that just happen?
I am not the person to ask. I am not exactly an expert in human social interactions to begin with.
That was a rhetorical question, Galen.
I guess. One of those. Well, hopefully we don't find any more mines in our path. Or,
Yeah, I'm gonna keep a closer eye out from this point forward.
I think perhaps we can study the one that we found or the readings from just before it impacted and perhaps refine our sensor sweeps to find them a little more quickly this time. I'll begin on that right away. And yeah, just off studying the sensor data now to try to refine our sensors.
I'm surprised we missed that.
Back at the communion that was sorry, the communion that was interrupted. Um, there, the doctor, Dr. Hayden is checking all the vitals of Desmond, who was, um, jostled in the incident. Um, and he's there coughing. He's like, "Oh, get off me! I'm fine."
So as I come to the end of the service, I'll give a final blessing and send everybody on their merry way. May we be safe when I look around.
And Desmond smiles and he says, "Maybe God, it really is looking after us."
Perhaps I look forward to seeing the world below. Uh, I've heard it's quite spectacular, the devastation.
Funny how ruin can have a beauty to it.
Yeah, desolate, like a desert, like a rocky mountain. Uh, Hopefully, we'll see signs that nature has begun to replenish the planet, if that's even possible.
Yeah, well, I want to get your hopes up about that. From what I'm here, it was well and thoroughly sterilized. But you never
Well,
know.
well, if there is any criminal element, they have to be surviving somehow. So perhaps they've revitalized the soil and they're growing crops again. We'll see. I have a pretty strong scientific curiosity. Are you in
That's
any pain, sir?
well, all these drugs that are good. Islia, and he points to Dr. Hayden. Um, she's keeping me well and thoroughly tranquil.
Well,
Surprised I can still feel my fingertips. Hard to think under such conditions, like your head's stuffed with cotton or something.
I wish you all the best. And I look
Yes,
forward to
but
tomorrow.
not as much as I am, Father.
And
I
I'll
have a
clean up.
question for you.
Yes, sir.
before I go. Do you believe in hell?
I think hell might be where we place ourselves. If your soul isn't ready, if your soul has done bad things maliciously, it might be difficult for you to rise. Uh, you might feel the full weight of the guilt of the things that you've done and put yourself in your own private hell. But I don't think that that's permanent. I think God is loving and forgiving, that you might have lessons to learn still, but eventually you'll learn them. Might take a lot longer than you think. They used to call it purgatory.
He nods as well. Let's hope it's a long time before I end up there. And he's wheeled out.
Let's hope it's
And
a short time if you do end up there. I say quietly to myself.
and Cole, and you're in the hallway. Bruno comes to you. Well, be careful what you wish for, Cole. We almost just met our maker.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's not. I wouldn't want to go out on account of, space debris. Something a little more meaningful would be ideal.
Oh, so now you want that quick death of yours to have meaning.
I'm not meaning. I don't want it to be accidental, right? I want someone to look down the sight of their gun, frame my head up in it beautifully, and pull that trigger, not
I
some
don't know.
random space debris.
I don't know. Whatever just tried to kill us felt pretty intentional to me.
Well,
Maybe it's just me taking it personal.
I mean, yeah, if you want to take it personal and, go try to get it, by all means, you know where the airlock is. You know what? Prep us. I think kind of, you know what? I know Captain said conceal. We don't want to, worry people, but I know the rumors of this place. I think I'm taking a rifle, pulse rifle.
Yeah, I mean, people at the old unit used to say you weren't wise, Cole, but
I don't,
sometimes you have some wisdom to you.
survival instinct or something like that.
Hey, that's a wisdom all of its own, huh?
I guess,
Like to see some academic survive a firefight.
right? Yeah, you drop one of them in the middle of it all with lasers and shit going by them. They're gonna shit themselves. I'm not shitting myself till I'm dead and my, everything gives out on me.
So the hours start to go by as you very carefully winding your way through the ruins of. At some point in its history, Hermes 7 had like many of the colonies of Earth, a vast array of orbital installations doing all manner of entertainment, computer connectivity, orbital stations where people lived, farms, studied the solar system in which they inhabited, all manner of things, military installations. And now it's all in ruin. As it are no further incidents. Um,
Place is eerie. Just a bunch of ruined structures and
and
half
in
dead
the
ships.
well, and in the vacuum, there are still um, corpses
Oh,
preserved in the vacuum.
I think that's something I'll keep to myself. All right. I guess when the time comes, I will summon the crew, or my crew again, and just let them know that we're on final approach. So when we get to the planet's surface, Cole's in charge. Okay. When we leave the ship, we do whatever Cole says. We do it quickly. We stay alert. We stay safe, and we get this done. Right?
Got it, Captain.
Affirmative.
All right. Now, let the passengers know. Should only be a short time from now.
Cole walks back towards where the passengers are. A few minutes from boots on the ground. When we get there, I'm in charge. You do what I say when I say it, and you'll probably live through this thing if there's something to live, for.
That is just my intention, Desmond says.
Well,
To live through it all, I mean.
yeah. Sometimes bullets have other intentions for people, though.
Didn't realize bullets had intentionality.
We look forward to disembarking, Mr. McIntyre.
Yep. Just be ready in a few.
And so you enter the atmosphere, and as you get down, you see all these. The planet is mostly covered in this grayish ash. And sticking out of that ash, you see the skeletal remains of various habitation domes, cities, and so forth. There are large bodies of water, but they're also this kind of muddy color. Probably beautiful ones.
Well, there, Mr. Beckett. There's your hell. Look at that.
Mm.
Once a beautiful, thriving city, now awful.
Yes, a miserable place to spend an eternity.
Um, do you have you given us any indication how we're going to find this person you're looking for?
Well, Father, if you must know, I brought a specialist with me.
A
Let me
specialist.
introduce you. And he points to this. You've seen him kind of floating around the group, coming and going with no kind of erratic in their behavior. But this is Han Alex. He's a specialist in these sorts of things.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Alex.
And he doesn't greet you in kind. He looks at you with this barely concealed hostility. And you just feel shivers all across your body as he looks at you.
What sort of speciality do you have, Mr. Alex?
And he smiles. I am a man of many talents. I, in fact, saved your life not so long ago.
Did you?
And I may do it again.
And how did you do that, sir?
And he grins at you with these yellowed teeth. And he says, some of us are gifted to do all manner of things.
He gave us prior warning of an orbital collision that we would not perhaps have avoided otherwise.
Oh, that's what the sudden change of course was.
Indeed, Father Samuel. Now, Mr. Alex, are there any particular biological or radiological signs we should be on the lookout for?
Nothing you would be able to detect. That's why I'm here. If she really is here, I'll find her.
I do not quite understand, but I will defer to your authority.
And Desmond kind of sighs and he's like, I apologize for his crypticness. All psionics seem to have that streak in them.
Ah, that would explain it then.
So you're claiming to have psychic powers.
Yeah, Desmond responds. So he claims, and so he has demonstrated to me on numerous occasions. It takes
Perhaps
one
he
to
was
find one, after all.
perhaps he was bitten by a radioactive crab.
No, it's nothing so crude as that. Poor Alex, I saved him, from those butchers at Gaia.
The the computer tech company.
They dabble in all sorts of bio cybernetic operations. Their fingers are in many pies.
I'm sorry I inquired. Uh,
No, you do
please,
good to ask, but poor people like our dear Mr. Alex here. I mean, hunted, murdered. People don't like their kind very much. People fear what they don't understand. They're mistrustful. People are
then
under
we
the impression
shall
that their private mind should remain private.
then we'll try to preserve any kind of judgment. Uh, you
It is
are what your
perhaps,
actions are. We'll watch his actions.
indeed, it is perhaps wrong to say that I can empathize with his situation, but I have a particular understanding.
And
I'll
Alex just looks at you, Galen, with what you assume would be a human emotion of hatred. He
I have
doesn't
seen it
seem to
many times
accept your bonds
before.
of yeah, doesn't accept your sympathies or your empathies.
I put my hand on Galen and I say, keep a close observation.
Perhaps he would find succor in my pamphlet. Should I provide it to him, Father Samuel?
Might be amusing.
Thinking to all this, Cole kind of turns to Tan and is like, let me save you the trouble. Gruff exterior, seen a lot of combat, wishes to die young. That's me. You don't got to poke around inside to figure that out. So
Yeah, but you might need to do a little poking about that infatuation you had with your sister. No,
that that gets him. That gets Cole. He kind of furrows his brow and really wants to just punch this guy, but kind of
I'd like to see
turns.
you try.
Mr. McIntyre, he's reading your mind. Be careful of your thoughts.
Oh, fucking God, tell you that. Thanks.
Indeed, quite educational, Father Samuel.
Well, he probably knows what I'm thinking right now.
And He grips his head. He's like, uh, Doc, you got one of those injections for me? Fucking headache's back. And Dr. Hayden opens up this little box full of these little syringes. Um, and she injects one of them into Tan. And the ship alerts you that you are about to land, and you're landing next to one of the basically what used to be the capital. Um,
All right. Me and Bruno out first, then to Alex, unless you just want to fucking tell us what's out there.
what do you think I'm magic or something?
I mean, you seem to pass yourself off as so.
And he looks at you like directly to your eyes, and you get full body shivers. All your hair seems to stand up on end. And says, you're not going to die quite yet, at least not in the next 30 minutes.
All right, me and Bruno out first.
Do we need environmental suits?
Uh, well, Dr. Hayden says, I've been talking with Galen about the levels of radiation. Uh, I would recommend full environmental suits just to be safe. You can survive exposure for some time. Um, but, if you want to have kids someday, Cap,
All right, everybody, let's suit up.
Worry about
do
that.
you agree in my assessment, Galen?
That sounds fair. As an additional warning, I would warn against handling any metallic objects, immersing yourself in any local water sources, consuming any local water sources or soils, and if you avoid these things, it should be relatively safe. The hazard suits should keep you safe from any relatively high dose areas or points of concern. Should we happen to find the ground zero site of a detonation or something of the sort, or an undetonated core. Uh, as with anything, there's a number of possible threats, so just be careful.
Well, Desmond said, what are we waiting for?
I will open the other gate. Mr. McIntyre, you're in charge.
All right, you all sit here. Me and Bruno will go and scout real quick, and then we'll let you know when you can come on.
Okay, so Cole, you step out into this dust. Was this fine gray powder. Some parts of it seem to be reflecting the light from the sun. In front of you is this these buildings, these spires, these tall skyscrapers, but they seem to be bent slightly toward you, as if they've been. It's like a tree that's been bent by a heavy wind. So it's bent out towards the ship, and there is you see a street leading off into this vast city.
All right, quick check. Don't see anything. Nobody or signs of life or anything. Check at the usual hiding spots, that someone may be hiding behind.
Yeah, you scan for any vital signs in these structures, and you don't get any reading.
All right. I just kind of overcome. So like, all right, we're clear out here. If everybody wants to come out,
All right, let's start moving.
we'll stay on point, but you just you point me in a direction.
Okay, so you start leading everybody out. So it's Cole and Bruno out front, followed, I assume, by Travis and Galen, and then trailing behind you is Father Samuel and the rest of Desmond's party. Desmond has been moved into something of a hovering chair of sorts,
I think I'd prefer to be in the far back.
far back. Okay, so you're
Yeah.
behind them.
Yeah.
So you're back there. You're near Desmond, um, and Dr. Hayden, and in the middle is Tan Alex. Um, he's kind of muttering to himself as you're moving along.
Out of curiosity, I'm looking around to see if I see any signs of life, any plant life that's trying to come back, or grass in the cracks, anything.
As you're looking around, you're not seeing anything green. You're not seeing anything. There's no insects. There's no birds. There's any number of animals that the humans would have brought with them. There's nothing, and it is quiet, dead
You
silent.
said
You can hear the wind whistling through the bent remains of these buildings.
you said it was Tan Alex that was muttering to himself.
Yeah.
Mr. Alex, is there anything I can help you with?
No, no, just leave me alone. All right, I'm thinking.
Sir.
Well, despite Tan's protestations earlier, Galen kind of unclips his little bioscanner from his belt and begins tuning it in and trying to scan for any signs of life forms anywhere in the area. I'm guessing it's nothing but the immediate people around him that he's picking up.
Yeah, you're only picking up your group. And Father Samuel, you can see in through some of the, there's not an intact window. All the windows have been shattered.
Smashed. Yeah.
So there's all among the dust, there's this kind of glitter of glass everywhere. Um,
Feeling as if the buildings are staring at us through their black, empty eye sockets. It's quite creepy. And of course, there could be a criminal right up there staring at us through that building's empty eye socket. So I'm keeping my peripheral vision. If there's any movement of any kind, is there any breeze or is there wind
there
or
is wind,
so there might be movement anyway.
and you see the wind kind of sweep the wind sweeps in front of you and reveals a part of the sidewalk around one of the buildings, and you see this distinctive shadow of a person
Yeah.
on the sidewalk.
All that's left. The blast must have been probably from the way that I see the devastation. The blast was probably less than 600 feet in that direction, and everything's knocked.
So yeah, as you're looking at it appears that the city was struck by multiple blasts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a massive place. So some buildings they seem to be bent in all sorts of directions away from various blast sites. Various Geiger counters that are part of your environmental suits shoot up around certain blocks, but you're just spending a lot of time walking through this corpse of a city.
The the metropolitan of this quadrant of space sent out quite a few ships from our religion to uh, pray for those who had died. That was over a year after the terrible war. Um, I can see that there must have been thousands, hundreds of thousands who died. Fortunately, they didn't suffer. Instantaneous was most of their deaths. Would have been better to be close to the bomb, Mr. McIntyre, than far away from it.
Yeah, I'm sure all your prayers lifted them right up. Took them straight to heaven. Cap, I'm not reading anything yet. We just continue on a course here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll keep trying.
All right. You tell me when to take a turn. Otherwise, we're just gonna keep going forward.
No signs of
And
life in any direction.
Mr. Alex, do you have any suggestions on which way we should look?
if you would all think less, I could focus.
Maybe let's just take a 5-minute pause here.
And Tan Alex stands there for a minute. He wipes away his he wipes at his tries to wipe at his nose through his suit and he can't. And he's like, is this fucking helmet necessary? And he looks at you, Galen.
Uh, that depends on your tolerance for risk.
I
Your
can't
employ
fucking think like this. And he puts the visor of his helmet up, and you see he has something of a nosebleed. Then he wipes at it with his glove, and he looks not at any of you, but he looks at Desmond and he says, "She's here, all right. I can feel her."
Like
Mr.
to,
Alex, I'd really recommend that you keep your visor down.
you want to fill us in the right direction, or just keep let us keep wandering?
What do you think? She's like a little beacon or something?
I mean, you said you can feel her, so I figure that means you fucking know what direction we should be walking.
And he just points towards further into the city.
All
Somewhere
right.
over there, Mr. McIntyre.
Well, that's a direction, so thank you for your assistance.
How well documented was this war? Like, how much do we know about it? Is the society one that was kind of expecting it to the point of like civil defense shelters and things like that?
So, from
Or
what you understand of Hermes 7, um, the original colony fractured into sub factions um, shortly after it was founded. Um, Basically, there were some disagreements between um, political ideologies. You had people who came out here to make it a utopia. You had people who came out here to um, make business ventures. You had, all manner of political ideologies flocked to the planet. Um, and two of the major factions had a flashpoint, and everything was destroyed. So nobody knows. So ships that left the system right before it happened had reports of major political stirrings, but nobody was alive or no documents survived to know exactly what the inciting incidents were that started the war. But no one survived to say exactly what happened.
well, perhaps further within the city, there may be fallout shelters or civil defense shelters of some sort, or secondary uh, places that would have acted as such, underground transit terminals, things like that.
Yeah, you're passing entry, like there are stairs that go down into underground transit ways. Um, so there is a vast public transportation network below you.
If anyone intended to make habitation here for a greater period of time, this would perhaps be one place where they could evade the higher levels of radiation, the unpredictable weather, and the sort. Additionally, there may possibly be places down there that are still connected to underground power systems, utilities, things like that, some of which may still be capable of assisting life at some level of degraded function.
Wouldn't they have starved to death long ago?
Very likely, but if this person, I presume, is not a survivor of the war, but a refugee, they may have brought their own food or uh, hydroponic systems with them, with proper starting materials, filtration, and connection to some sort of power source. They perhaps could live underground indefinitely here.
Well, we'll see where Mr. Alix leads us.
And as you're walking, Alex stops again, pulls his visor up, and presses his glove to his temple. He's like, Doctor, I'm getting another one of those headaches. And Cole, you think you see movement ahead of you.
Hand up. It's like, Cap, I think we got something up here. Me and Bruno are gonna scout ahead. You hold the rest of them here. Maybe move off to
Copy.
the side out of the opening.
Copy.
All right, let's go check it out, Bruno. Right up there. I caught a little bit of movement.
Okay, so you and Bruno, you move up, um, and you quickly move around the corner, weapon at the ready, down the street. And just you could almost reach out and touch it, but there's this person or this figure of a person, like a silhouette of a person. And they're reaching down and they're holding the hands of a smaller silhouette and they're walking away from you down the street.
Hey, hold up there. Hold up there.
They don't respond and they keep walking away from you.
All right, kind of move forward. I mean, I can I tell this isn't like a person, like it's.
I mean, it feels very real to you, but
Okay,
it's
gotcha.
weird.
I'm gonna need you to
It's
stop.
three-dimensional. And it turns its head and looks back at you, and you feel your whole body go into shivers. And then you look back and they're gone. So you can make a sanity save for me.
All right. Uh, that is a 49 over 21.
Okay, get 1d4 stress for me, please.
Okay. That is a 4.
Okay,
So
you find this deeply upsetting.
the Bruno, did you, there were people just people were just here, right? Did you see that?
Don't go losing your mind on me, Cole. There's nobody fucking here. This place is dead. Picking
You
up
didn't
nothing on the bioscanners.
you didn't just see that person with the child. Just fucking right there walking away and turned around and looked at us.
Are you trying to scare me? There are ghosts here? This place haunted?
You know what? Fucking don't worry about it.
I won't.
Yeah, good. Just don't, fuck. All right. Let's head back. Just tell Cap it's false alarm.
And Tan Alec says, there's been a shift. I think she knows we're here. And Desmond says, well, I hope she likes visitors. Yeah, Cole and Bruno come back.
It's false alarm, Cap. Just wind or something. Misunderstood what I was saying.
Okay. All right. Well, let's keep going then.
Okay.
Uh, I'm watching Tan. Is he acting like a psychic would act? He seems to be mentally reaching out and trying to feel something, or
If anything, he is just the embodiment of irritation. Like when he has his visor up, he has just this grimace or almost snarl on his face. You can see his hands are constantly making fists and like clenching and unclenching. He's readjusting his shoulders a lot. He's bent over. He's like trying to like run his fingers through his hair, but he can't because of the suit. Um, so on the one hand, he seems just very irritated, irritable. Um, you think he'd be clawing at his skin if he could get to it. But also at the same time, he doesn't seem to be looking at any of you or any of his surroundings. He's like mentally elsewhere, it seems.
to shift my internal prayers. Uh, that if he is possessed by some sort of demonic force, that the Lord take it away from him. Um,
Yeah, and as you start your prayer, you're focusing your thoughts onto him.
yeah, not not
And
an attack against him, but an attack against something that might be influencing him.
right. As you turn your thoughts toward him in that way, um, he stops at one point and he turns and he looks right at you. And he's like, shut up. And you feel almost this push against your body. It staggers you a little bit.
Are you all right, Mr. Alex?
My apologies. My apologies. There's just so many people.
Is this
Uh,
something you've always had, or is this something that they did to you?
If you must know, it's what they did to me. Of course, I don't remember a time before them doing it to me, but I don't see how that matters now.
You're saying that Gaia genetically engineered you to be able to hear people's thoughts?
I'm part of a long-standing program. Extrasensory cognition, thoughts, memories, glimpses into other
Well, I
dimensionalities.
apologize. I apologize if my prayers have bothered you. I was wondering if there was something else.
It's not just you. People can't seem to stop thinking about me.
Mr. Alex, would distance provide you relief? Perhaps you and I could fall back somewhat from the rest of the group and let them go out ahead a bit. I could keep you company, and from what I understand, I am less immediately irritable to your capabilities.
It's funny, as much as I hate people, I don't trust you. Can't get a read on you. But I suppose it's tolerable compared to all this noise. So if it's all the same to anybody else, I think the synthetic is right. Let's stay
If
back away.
if it would make you feel any better, I can give you the only thing I have that could be considered a weapon, a scalpel. It is yours to hold while we walk together.
And he takes it and he puts it in a pocket of the suit.
I
And the two
suppose
of
in
you,
a, I suppose in a way, you and I are somewhat similar. You, against your will, were created to see into the minds of others, and I, with no input of my own, was created to mimic the presence of others. And both of us seem to have quite a difficulty with humanity at large. So
yes,
I,
it's hard to tolerate anything or anyone. Humans, your name is Galen.
yes, uh, I, I suppose it's somewhat of a joke or a jest. An ancient scientist, uh, given new life in a synthetic form, something of the sort.
Hmm. Well, Galen, I've spent a long time immersed in the thoughts of my fellow humans, and I can say there's not much to love there.
I think in many ways, Mr. McIntyre would agree with you.
Uh, he's a little too fond of himself,
That he is.
as
That
are
he is.
most of his kind. No special sin of his.
I will allow you to walk in silence, unless you desire otherwise.
What do you think, Galen, of Desmond's quest?
Well, it is somewhat of a personal matter for me in some ways. I believe some humans find synthetics objectionable because of the nature of our lives. Eh, Clinical immortality is part of the package, I suppose. And in a way, even if I were damaged immensely, if there were sufficient profit motive in it, I suppose, or sufficient desire by someone who had the means of their own, I could be moved from body to body with little appreciable effect. But the human body and the human mind are intertwined, one and the same. To I can understand his desire to remain himself as a complete package. After all, even if he had the tools to put his brain into a synthetic body, lacking all of the biological interfaces, he would no longer be himself. His drives and his desires silenced or changed irreparably. And perhaps if he finds a way to succeed at his goal, then synthetics will no longer be this strange alien creature so much as a different variation on things, perhaps even pitiable in comparison. After all, if humanity finds its own method of immortality to maintain the body and the mind, one and the same altogether, then uh, synthetics are no longer seen as a threat or a possible improvement on the species, but merely a useful tool with similarities, but no unique distinctiveness. And in our commonness, perhaps people will no longer feel this need to hate us in such a fashion. And Galen actually pulls out his little pamphlet that he carries with him, the religious anti-synthetic pamphlet. After all, I believe it is our differences that uh, engender such disagreeable opinions. And perhaps as humanity finds differentiation in whatever results Mr. Beckett is able to achieve, perhaps even your unique gifts will be less so. The more gifts out there, the less any one of them is likely to bother someone.
Well, I don't know if more of me being around would make me feel any better.
I
I don't
suppose what
know
the
if it's I don't know what good would come of it if there were more of my kind. I don't wish my existence on anybody else. It's hell. Father and Desmond like to think what they understand to be hell. I know what it's like to be in hell.
well, I suppose the physical pain of and mental stress of unavoidable social interactions could be quite unpleasant and grating after a time. It is something I had not really considered before. I
Yes, you
suppose.
humans, are you aware of the practice of white lies, Galen?
Oh yes, yes.
Humans deceive each other all the time. Not maliciously, although sometimes maliciously, but humans will tell each other all the time that some such and such is okay or that they're not hurt or they wish someone the best or that's all. It's all lies and everybody knows that they're lies, but they can believe in it and everyone gets along all the better. But to know with absolute certainty of the illusion of it all, the contempt that they have for you, the contempt that they have for each other, their innermost fantasies, their desires, all of it. I know everyone to the depths of their being, and there's nothing there to love. And you can't turn it off. If I could just flip the switch, if whatever switch they turned on inside of me, if I could find that switch and turn it off, I would tell you I would do it in an instant.
Well,
Sometimes I know Mr. McIntyre talks a big game about wanting to die as early as possible, uh, but he doesn't really mean it.
perhaps if Mr. Beckett's quest is successful, with sufficient remuneration on your part, if you are able to provide him with that which he seeks, perhaps you will be able to acquire the surgical means to do that to yourself. After all, these abilities were engendered into your brain, into your neural network. There must be a way to deactivate it without death.
Yes, well, that's what the old man has promised me.
Ah, well, I
And
will.
it's the only thing keeping me from using the scalpel you just gave me on myself.
Oh, please do not do that. It would be quite a mess, and I would have to carry you. And besides, if you were to do that, then that would risk the entire mission. And well, if you fail to earn your freedom from your burdensome gift, then from what I understand, you are not alone among people given the gift. If you are able to free yourself from it, others may wish to know that it is possible.
Yes, hope. Hope is a horrible, horrible thing.
Yes. Much like white lies, hope is a considerable component of my bedside protocols for my first aid uh, training and routines.
Yes, if unfortunately, Desmond seems to be genuine in his desire to help me.
I do not understand why that would be unfortunate. That seems like that would likely be everything you would wish. Is it not?
That's what keeps me going, and I wish to God, although he does not exist, um, it would be much simpler to simply stop walking.
Hmm. I suppose that is true.
If I had any doubt in my mind that he was being duplicitous, I would just simply take off my suit and lay here till I died.
Well, it could be worse. As you say, God could be real. I imagine with your gift, an all-knowing, all-seeing entity that is present everywhere throughout the cosmos, you would have no escape.
No escape. That's what I long for, escape. And there's no way that such an entity would not be stark raving mad.
Well, I suppose it's a matter of perspective. After all, humans would find much of the work that I do maddening in and of itself. Occupying a ship that is in cryo lockdown, performing basic maintenance tasks throughout the day with nothing to engage or entertain. It is all a matter of perspective, I suppose.
Yes, I find it all intolerable. Tedium's intolerable. Excitement is intolerable. Every aspect of life feels intolerable.
Truly a
And yet
conundrum.
I lack the will to end it.
Well, perhaps should Mr. Beckett succeed and provide you with what he has promised, your perspective too will change.
Yes, and again we go back to hope. If only that old bastard was lying to me.
Indeed. The eternal human endeavor, hope. It drives you to the stars, but also, and Galen looks around, uh, also leads to folly.
And as you say that, Han Alex seems to stop and clutch himself in pain. And he puts his hand to his head. And while as he's doing that, Travis, as you're walking ahead, um, you feel these full body shivers.
Okay.
And the street around you is suddenly populated with people.
The hell?
Everybody's You're surrounded by these towers of glass and glittering lights, advertisements. A car almost runs you over as it goes down
Whoa.
the street.
Nobody told me this
There are
place was
people.
populated.
There are people on all sides of you. You look around. There's nobody that you came here with is present. Um, there are people shopping. There are people eating at some food vendors. Um,
I'm just gonna stop somebody on the street and be, excuse me, is this Hermes? Are is this Hermes 6?
the
Hermes 7?
Hermes, Hermes 7. So are you all right? Are you okay?
Just a little confused. Uh, how long have you lived here?
I've lived here all my life.
No, that's not possible.
Right.
I'm
Do
just
you?
gonna.
And he starts looking around. Do you need help?
No, no, thank you, thank you. No, yeah, thank you. I'll just wander away, rubbernecking.
Yeah, and you run into somebody, um, and you see a
Oh,
crowd of people are staring at this tell like this behind in one of these businesses. There's a screen and it's playing a newscast, um,
okay, yeah,
and
I'll
they're
watch
all
the
talking about
newscast.
mounting escalation. There's all these talking heads, experts, saying, "Well, of course, no one would be stupid enough to fire the first shot. No one would dare risk the escalation." Um,
See if I
and
can catch
every
a date somewhere.
yeah, the newscast is scrolling. You see the date. You see this is about 200 odd years ago, the year the colony was destroyed. In fact, from what you knew from your research of coming out here, this is the day that the colony was destroyed is the date being presented to you.
Oh, that's just fucking fantastic. Okay, I think I'm just gonna start wandering around and just looking at things, you know.
And Cole, you're going back to do a status report, and the captain is gone.
Cap, uh, j- what's your position, Captain? Cap,
And
can you hear me, Cap?
yeah, you don't get a response.
All right. Bruno,
Everybody else seems to, when you stop, everybody else stops.
Is there
Bruno,
And
something wrong, Mr. McIntyre?
has anybody got eyes on the captain?
He was following behind with, uh, I don't see him. We don't see him, right?
right, and yeah, and exactly. Travis was behind everybody. Um, and the far back was Galen and Tan Alex. The rest of you were in front of the captain. Captain is gone. You don't see him on the street.
Did he wander off? There's a great deal of ash and dust on the ground. Perhaps we can find his footprints and see where he went.
Yeah, I mean, you have that thought. You go back to where he probably was, and do you see his footsteps seem to have veered off down a side street?
Mr. McIntyre, that way he seems to have gone.
All right, Bruno, you hold here. I'm gonna go follow Captain's tracks.
We'll
I
wait for you.
start following.
Yeah, and you follow his footsteps, and you get about a block away, and you find Cap just staring into one of these dead buildings, just into this black void through a shattered window.
Yeah, I approach slowly. I've seen people that, and more have kind of gone out of it, so I don't want to startle them, and, kind of as I'm approaching, like, Cap, hey,
Do
Cap,
I hear him?
need you to, need you to
No,
respond.
no, you're in this crowd of people, and there's more and more people gathering to watch this newscast.
Okay.
Kind of work my way around in front of him, and then kind of like reach out and like just lightly kind of push on his shoulder. It's like Cap.
And you do feel that push on your shoulder.
I just turn to the person next to me and be, hey, buddy, quit jostling.
And Cole, you do hear that.
All right. Now it's like Cap. Now he's responded, so I kind of like grab and kind of jostle a little bit. He's like, "Hey, you good, Cap?
Hey, what the hell?
You wandered off."
And you turn around and you are back in the desolate city. Mr.
Cole.
McIntyre is in front of you.
Oh,
You good, Cap? You wandered off.
the hell? I, I must be seeing things.
Yeah, you can make a sanity save.
Yeah. Yeah. 64 and my sanity is 34, so no, that's a fail.
Okay, get 1d4 stress, please.
Okay.
I mean, I know you rank Cap, but out here, I'm going to need you to stick around. Not wander off.
Yeah. Sorry, I lost focus. Let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah. All right. Let's just get back to him.
Yeah. I'm right behind you.
How about you be right in front of me for a moment?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
And Cole, Bruno messages you on a private channel.
What's up, Bruno?
Has Cap fucking lost it?
Yeah, I don't know. He's staring into one of the buildings. I mean, like intently, like he could see what was happening in it. And I mean, it took a good shake to kind of break him out of it.
I think that psionic fuck is fucking with us.
Yeah. I'm he keeps it up and I'm moments away from just only thinking about my time on Palace 4 and just the perverse shit I got into there. See how he likes that.
Showing them the good stuff, the greatest
Yeah,
hits.
on loop.
And Father Samuel, you're there when Travis and Cole return. Um,
You found him. Is he all right? Are you okay, Cap?
Yeah. I got turned around. But everything's good. We're ready to go.
We're a private channel to Galen. It's like, hey, you're in the back. You give me a heads up if someone wanders off, please.
Yes, certainly. I apologize. I was distracted. Mr. Alex had one of his uh, pain situations. I was attempting to minister to him. He is seems to be recovering somewhat now, but
Okay, yeah. Didn't
and
ask.
as you say that, you see Alex lean over and spit blood onto the ground.
uh, Mr. Alex, is there anything I can do to assist you?
Now just get one of the syringes from Dr. Hayden, please.
Certainly. Captain, Mr. Alex requires one of his medical syringes.
Yeah, ask Dr. Hayden. I'm sure she has an extra.
Yeah, and so keep an eye on Desmond. And she goes back to Galen and Alex and she administers a shot.
Thank you, Doctor.
Here, if you're gonna stay with them, hold on to these. And she hands you a case of these little syringes.
Are there any particular warnings with these so that I avoid overdose or uh, inappropriate administration?
She leans to you and she starts whispering, and she's like, "Fuck, I forget that doesn't work. Listen, you can't have more than one an hour, no matter how much he fucking begs you. No more than one an hour, or you might
Affirmative,
OD,
doctor.
and then we'll be fucked. Okay."
One per hour. Indeed.
And that's pushing it. Just so you know, that's not a. We're not giving him a low dose and not wanting to overdo it. We are one an hour is overdoing it, quite frankly. If we keep it up for too long, then we might have to worry about hooking it up to Desmond's equipment. So, one an hour, no more.
And Galen will like pull up on the suit, which he's mostly just wearing to look like he belongs with everybody else, and just like pulls up the little digital clock and it starts ticking down.
And Alex doesn't say anything as Dr. Hayden goes back to rejoin Desmond. And Desmond looks around and is like, "Well, we ready to get this show on the fucking road? I'm not going to live forever."
Yeah, now that, we've seen the doctor, we got our lollipops. Let's move on. Point us in a direction, Tan.
And Tan just, as we're getting closer,
Need more than that. Put a finger up and point.
first he does this,
Appreciated.
and then he uses the point kind of northeast. If
Yeah, Cole appreciates that a bunch. All right, we're heading this way.
I think while we're moving, I'm going to try to take a moment and get close to Dr. Hayden and try to talk to her.
Okay, yeah, she's following. So Desmond is in this floating medical chair. There are all these kind of hovering, it all looks, medical equipment just looks alien and weird if you don't know what any of it is. So there's all these spheres and monitors and things with all sorts of readings and pulse, like the various readings, pulses, all sorts of stuff. There are a few nurses looking at it all. Hayden is looking through this tablet in front of her that has all these readouts that she's monitoring. So she's really easy to get up next to, is what I'm saying. So
Okay, I'll just ask her, is your colleague, Mr. Alex, going to be okay? He's looking a little rough around the edges.
well, you'd better be okay. That's the thing with psionics. They're an unstable bunch.
Yeah, so you're saying this is normal?
For him, this is pretty tame, honestly. I've seen him after some board meetings, and he's pretty shook up. So,
Huh.
good day for him.
Okay. All right, that's that tells me everything I need to know. So,
Yeah, if it gets bad, I mean, what he did to old Samuel here, what he did to old Father Samuel is you know,
what did he do to
nothing.
Samuel?
Knocked him around a little bit. Isn't
How
that
much
right,
is a
Father?
little?
Yes, he's genetically engineered to have psychic abilities. Um, I'm wondering if he's affecting us in any way. It's odd, Cap, that you wandered off. Cole also seemed to be mesmerized by something he thought he saw. I mean, great tragedy happened on this world. Perhaps this world is full of ghosts.
I don't believe in ghosts and I don't believe in psionics, but I do believe in atmospheric toxicity. So, Galen, keep an eye out for signs of atmospheric toxicity in the living people around here.
Indeed. I'll keep an eye on it and look for any signs of particular risk factors. But I suppose first and foremost is still our search for this other living person.
We know the
Set it.
name of this person that we're looking for.
Desmond coughs, um, and he says, Lillian.
Lillian.
I mean, if we're talking about psionic persons, whether or not Cap's uh, disbelief in them notwithstanding, Lillian makes Alex look like, I don't know, nothing really.
Perhaps our guess is that she came here to get away from the noise too.
Yes, but she's capable, I've heard, of working miracles. Maybe she's a prophet of God, Father.
Prophets of God usually prophesy to other people. They don't run off into the desert and hide.
Well, maybe the prophets that haven't been driven insane, maybe.
Well, let's see if we can find them before you are injured permanently by something invisible.
So as you continue on, and the amount of the nuclear shadows intensifies. There are crowds of these. You come across one thoroughfare, and all the walls and the sidewalk is just full of shadows. And we will take a quick break.
5 minutes later.
So yeah, you come across this major thoroughfare, um, and you are just down the street. You can see the impact crater, this great divot in the earth. All the surfaces close to ground level are covered in these shadows. And the radiation meters that are spiking.
Jesus, look at that.
All because people just couldn't agree with one another. War is terrible. War is hell. There's your hell.
All right, everybody just, should be obvious, but keep a safe distance from the hole in the ground.
I think we can skirt around it.
And as you're going past this, um, Alex has another one of these spells. Um, Galen, you see him stop. Um, he lifts up his visor again and he's wiping the blood away from his nose. Um, and Father Samuel,
Yes.
you there's this bright light that you see kind of coming down from the sky. You can barely look at it. Um, and there seems to be a lighting in the middle of that crater. It's
What?
blinding.
is Captain, what's going on? What's the light?
Do I see a light? I don't think I
You
see a
don't
light,
see a
right?
light. No.
Are you all right, Father Samuel?
That's the light. It's blinding. Is there something wrong?
And
Is there?
as your
McIntyre,
eyes,
hold up.
you're looking at this light and you can almost swear and it's blinding and it hurts your eyes, but it's like there's a person in the middle of it,
Uh,
just glowing.
do you see? There's a person there.
Why don't
I
you
can't look
take?
directly at it.
Why don't you just have a seat here, Father Samuel, for a second?
But but
And this
it,
person, she says to you, um, "Do you insist so much in prying into the secrets of God? Don't you know I
uh,
want to be left alone?"
uh, I'm not the one who's initiated this trip. Uh, I'm just here in case.
Could you ever clean your soul of such blasphemy? And the light
Uh,
intensifies.
are you? Do I feel? What do I feel inside?
It's just this burning, like you feel like your whole body feels electrified,
Are
like this
you?
warmth in your chest and in your mind. You can
Are
barely feel your body. It's like you're floating.
are you an angel or the other thing?
Both, neither. I am
You're
what I am.
you're too bright. You're too bright.
I could hear
I
I
the.
wish to be alone, and you are knocked onto your back, and the light goes away.
I think I was starting to make my way over at the talk of angels and stuff, and seeing Father Samuel fall on his back. I quicken my pace and it's like, Father, hey, you good? Did you pass out? What happened?
are you all right, Cole? Uh, did the light hurt you in any way?
Uh, Father, there was no light, Father.
Well, it was over there near the where the crater was. She said she didn't want us to be here. She wanted to be left alone, but you didn't see it.
No, I don't. I kind of look at everybody else. Is like, I don't think anybody saw anything but you. Did you? Are you
I
having?
look over at Tam and Galen. Um, Mr. Alex, I saw something.
And
Uh,
Galen, you see that he spits up blood again, um, puts his visor back down, and he walks over to Father Samuel. He says, "What was it that you saw?"
the brightness. I thought it was just light at first, but there was a woman inside of it. She said she wants to be left alone.
Maybe we should listen to her.
Are you doing this shit to us? You putting shit in our minds?
If he is doing it at great personal risk.
I mean, that doesn't matter to me. Are you putting shit into our minds?
I can assure you, Cole, that this is not my doing.
No,
Of course, you don't believe me.
Yeah,
she was over there.
So, Father Samuel, you can make a sanity save.
Okay. No.
Okay, you can get 1d4 stress.
And I got 3.
Yeah, so you are still shaking, even after they've picked you up from the
Yeah,
ground.
I've got retinal flashes. I can
Mhm.
still see the shape like burned into my eyes. None of you saw it.
No, maybe let's get the doctor back here and have a quick take a quick look at you.
The oxygen turned up too high on my rebreather.
Dr. Hayden comes and she's like, "Calm, just deep breaths, Father, deep breaths. I'll check everything." And she takes some readings from from your suit. She does a bio scan on you. She's like,
I've,
everything seems to be normal. I mean,
I've,
you're
I've,
definitely your metabolism's elevated, but
I've
stress
been
response.
I've been lightheaded before. I've even passed out a few times. This was nothing like that. It was real, tangible. She spoke to me. I heard her. I could see her body. I don't know how to process this.
All right. Let's let's go to Mr. Beckett and we'll ask him if he wants to continue in light of the current situation.
I intend to see this through to the end. I will have my audience with her, and she will listen to me.
Well, I'm moving to the back.
All right. Cole?
So let me get the
Let's
order right. So it's
yeah,
Cole and
let's get him
Bruno
moving.
are
Yeah.
in front. Then it is Desmond and his group of medical personnel. Then it is our Travis. Are you keeping behind Father Samuel still, or are you letting him drop back
I
behind
might
you?
walk with Travis.
I'm thinking it would be better if we buddied up, so I'll
Yeah,
walk
yeah.
direct with with Samuel. Yeah,
Then it's you
Understand.
two, and then it's Galen and Alex in the rear.
And now I'm probably a bit talkative with the captain. I mean, it was so real. What did you see? Did you see something as well?
Well, it was probably just a mirage. I saw the buildings looked like they had glass on them still for a little bit, and I
I
thought I
don't
saw some
think
people. But it's probably just shadows, and we've been in
don't
space for
try
a
to
long time.
rational it. I tell you now, I didn't see shadows. I saw a person. I thought it was an angel or a demon, or the Bible says that an angel can take the form of a demon can take the form of an angel of light. And she
All
wasn't
right,
friendly.
all right, Father. Let's just for a second. Let's say you were right. What does that mean?
I think perhaps Mr. Alex knows it's somebody with psionic powers, very powerful, perhaps created by Gaia. That's what he's accusing them of.
No,
They do a lot of very strange work.
let's say this is a person, a psionic person, as you say, and she really doesn't want us there. What would she do if we showed up anyway?
She could have she pushed me. She threw me across and landed on the ground. I wasn't injured, but I could have been. I don't think she was trying either. I think she could have killed me if she wanted to. I'm
But
surprised
she
she
didn't,
hasn't
did she?
already. No, perhaps she doesn't want to be violent.
Neither do we. So we'll keep it that way.
Well, let's hope that there's not collateral damage and that we're not part of the collateral damage. This is all Mr. Beckett's desire. and our desire for payment, which is almost obscene now that I think about it.
Well, if we don't cause any collateral damage, then in all likelihood there won't be any collateral damage. So,
I hope you're right.
Think we're continuing on around the crater as these conversations are happening.
Mhm. Yeah. And Cole, Bruno stops suddenly.
Yeah, I probably take a few extra steps before I realize that he's kind of fallen out of, my peripheral vision and turn around and Bruno, you see something?
And he pulls his gun up.
Whoa. Like at me or like at something else?
That's something else. He's
Okay,
not
okay.
looking at you.
All right. All right. So I pull mine up. I'm like, what have you got, Bruno? Kind of start,
He's not saying anything on comms.
yeah, I start moving forward towards him. I'm kind of remembering what happened with the captain and just happened with the father. It's like, hey, Bruno, buddy, I'm gonna need you to snap out of it or tell me what you see, one of the two.
And he starts firing.
Oh shit, yeah, I snap to and just reflexively, fire off a
So
couple
yeah,
of
he
rounds
drops
in the
to one knee
sand.
and starts to fire, and he's sweeping in front of him. Just
I was like, overcome. I was like, everybody down, get behind something. And then, I'm kind of hunker down and like, I guess, kind of crab walk over, near him and try to just get an eye on what he's shooting at.
he doesn't seem to be shooting at anything.
Yeah, I kind of scanning around, and
You
realizing
look
that
at your bioscanner. There's nothing. There's nothing here.
yeah, like Bruno, cease fire. There's nothing there. Cease fire. He just keeps going. So I kind of, put my gun down and I go over and, again, try speaking to him again. If he doesn't respond, man, I'm going to kind of give him a good, like, elbow, not enough to, like, make him fall over or, shoot wildly, but just to kind of jar him, like, hey,
Okay,
snap
roll
out of it.
combat for me.
All right. That's 38 under 49.
Okay, so you nudge him, and your reflexes kick in, and you duck down as he sweeps his gun and almost shoots you. Um, but you knock him to the ground.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I'm going to try to kick his gun away from him.
You do that with your successful combat roll. You disarm him.
Yeah.
He's on the ground.
And I like smack the front of his visor, not hard enough to do anything, but I'm like, hey, Bruno, come
Ah,
on.
fuck me. Fuck.
Fuck you. Fuck us. You about put bullets through me.
Jesus, Cole, I didn't see you there. Why didn't you say anything? We got to clear our lines of fire. They didn't
What
fucking teach you anything in the Marines? God.
the fuck, man? You were
They were
shooting.
coming for us. What the fuck were you doing?
Who was coming for us?
The fucking the gang, the people on this fucking planet. They were coming from the buildings.
I kind of hoed out, um, my reader's like, there is nothing but us. It's like you're seeing shit. I get it. I saw shit, but I don't know. You got to keep your shit together. You cannot go blind firing at what you think you see.
You can hear him breathing heavy. He's like, all right, Sarge. All right.
You good to take your firearm back, or do I need to keep it?
I'll better I have it, in case.
All right, I'm
Do you
I'm
give
gonna
it back
trust.
to him?
Yeah, I think so. I kind of yeah
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Excellent. You hand it back to him and he reloads it.
I'm putting a lot of trust in you, man.
You can
Keep your
trust me.
shit.
I promise.
Keep your shit
And
together.
again, in a private channel, he's like, it's stuff. fucking sight.
Yeah, I know. I
Psycho freak. He's fucking with us.
didn't fucking sign on to have my brain treated like a sketchbook.
What the fuck are we going to do about it, boss?
I,
He's a danger to us all.
yeah, I don't disagree. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it gets if this, I mean, if he this shit keeps up and he puts someone in danger, we're gonna have to. I mean, we're gonna have to render him unconscious at the least.
All right, you just give me the word. I'll take care of him.
All right. Yeah. I mean, if it one more thing like that where someone gets put at risk, and yeah, we're gonna put him down. Fuck. Then over to Cap. I go on private. Cap's like, hey, Cap, we can't. This is fucked.
The hell's going on up there? I heard gunshots.
Yeah. I mean, Bruno's fucking hallucinating. Seeing shit, kind of like Father has, and I mean, when you wandered off, it's the psionic is putting shit in our mind, and I don't. It's not safe.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
I mean, listen, if I don't know, I need you to be on board. If something like this happens again, we're gonna have to do something about it. I mean, knock him out or something.
You're in charge, Cole.
All right, copy. Then over to Bruno. I'm in charge per the captain. So yeah, some weird shit happens again. We're gonna put him down. We're gonna put the butt of our rifle in his face.
And Galen, as Alex again spits up blood, like, can I have another shot, please?
Looking at the time, uh,
There's still 15 minutes.
I'm afraid you must forbear this pain for now. You still have 15 minutes to
Geez,
go.
I don't fucking care. Just give me the shot.
I'm sorry, Mr. Alex. It is too great a risk to your well-being. I do not wish to see you harmed.
Well, at least I know you're not trying to kill me, unlike some other people I could think of.
Well, that is unfortunate. I will endeavor to see that you remain unharmed as long as I am present on this mission. Give me a moment and I will communicate to my captain. Captain Brody,
Go ahead, Galen.
I have a concern. The gunfire up ahead, was that another psychic manifestation, a hallucination?
I think it was. Why do you ask?
Uh, Father Samuel earlier saw some sort of light being. You had some sort of distracting premonition of the past. Each of these has struck you individually, but each of them also seems to be striking Mr. Alex as well, with a rather uh, uh, some sort of painful uh, physical manifestation, headaches, bleeding, possible neurophysical damage of some kind.
Mr. Alex is not paying the bills right now, Galen. So I don't really give a fuck what's wrong with him. We got to get Mr. Beckett to the destination. That's my priority. So let's focus on that.
Certainly, perhaps we should do what we can to facilitate Mr. Beckett's discussion with this Lillian as soon as possible. And I kind of like turn deliberately. Mr. Alex, is there any way you think this counterpart of yours on the planet may be made aware of Mr. Beckett's presence?
Oh,
Such that,
she knows. She knows we're here.
well,
She won't answer me, though. I've been trying to talk to her.
perhaps you can, if she will not reply, perhaps you can communicate to her that Mr. Beckett would prefer to speak with her, and the sooner that she does, the sooner we can be on our way, if she does not desire our presence.
Yeah,
After all,
yeah. Yes, it's I'm communicating all of that and more to her. Trying to, anyway.
Hmm. Well, thank you for your diligence. Captain Brody, Mr. Alex is attempting to communicate with this Lillian that Mr. Beckett desires to speak with her, but she has not responded so far.
Well, tell him to try again and hurry it up.
It seems to be an ongoing attempt on his part.
Okay, well, maybe we need to get physically closer, so let's keep the line moving.
Okay, you go a little ways further, and all of you in your mind, you hear just this. You just hear stop, like a just a spike through your mind. Um, and you are outside one of these public transit subway entrances.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that our presence is not wanted.
She said that she doesn't want us here.
Can't disagree with you, Cap.
Let me check in with Desmond Beckett one more time. Mr. Beckett, we have a pretty clear indication that the person you're looking for is not interested in making contact with us whatsoever.
Well, unfortunately for you, Travis, I've hired you to make this audience happen. And it will happen. Am I? And he coughs. Have I made myself clear?
I don't want to jeopardize anybody's safety.
Alex, if she wanted us dead, would she have killed us already? And he replies, I'm sure she could if she wanted to.
Doesn't want us dead. She wants us gone. Are you going to offer
Desmond
her
says,
something?
she will speak to me. I have so much to offer her. If she would just listen. I'm a businessman, Father Samuel. Capitalist at heart. I wouldn't expect anything for free.
Somebody who lives out here in the middle of nowhere to stay away from everyone might not want what you have to offer her.
We'll see.
I think she hears us now. Make your offer. She obviously is tapping into our thoughts. Why hasn't she tapped into yours?
I want to see her face to face. And he seems like, as far as other people having hallucinations, he seems perfectly fine.
Because he's mostly machine.
All right.
No one will
Looks like we don't
speak on
have
my behalf. I paid to have this audience. And for the
Sir.
love of God, the people I paid to make this happen will make this happen.
Yes, sir.
Captain
All right, well-
Brody, perhaps I should change my accompaniment, and rather than follow Mr. Alex behind everyone, I should lead the way with Mr. Beckett.
Yeah.
Cole, what do you think?
I mean, I don't know. That does no. I mean, I feel like I need to be up front. You can be with us, but
That doesn't feel safe to me. I say we continue the way we are.
But, excuse me, Captain, but we've actually encountered nothing that's of any threat to us at all, except this psychic wave. That's what he's here for. Put him up front. Let him face it. There's no
I don't
animals. There's no people.
I don't want him up front where he can get hurt and we can't protect him.
Well, he won't be alone. Galen will be with him.
I'm not
We'll
confident
only
that Galen.
we'll only be 100 feet behind.
Cole, you're in charge. It's up to you.
Father's got a point. The only thing that's been here is what each of us have seen hallucinated or whatever.
I can keep my scanner active, and at any sign of trouble or other presences, I can call for Mr. McIntyre's assistance. Uh, Beyond that, I'm unarmed, so if I am being surveilled, she will hopefully know that I mean her no harm. And obviously, in his condition, Mr. Beckett is no threat to her either. And we have seen no indication of other threats,
All right.
biological or mechanical.
Can't really think of a better idea, and
Get
I don't
20
really want
You get 20
another
feet.
one of those. Yeah. All right. All right.
Yeah, 20 feet, and that's it. You don't make a turn without consulting me. The only thing you do without consulting me is stop.
Well, Mr. Alex, I must take my leave of you now. It has been a pleasant conversation and journey together. Perhaps we will have time to speak again later. I must see to it that your
Yes,
employer is delivered to his meeting of destiny.
and he leans in close to you, um, and he whispers, "Remember our conversation about folly?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
My vision of things ahead is blurred, but I don't envision this going well for us."
That is why I seek to bring Mr. Beckett out ahead. After all, this is his journey, and perhaps if folly is to befall us, then it will be his hopes that are dashed in advance of everyone else's.
Yes, well, Godspeed.
And if he is unable to provide you with the grace that you seek, you do have my scalpel, and you may contemplate its use once if your employer is unable to deliver what he has promised.
That's what I appreciate about you, Galen. There are very few humans who would tell me such things. I appreciate your objective candor. And he fiddles with the scalpel a little bit.
Oh. You must understand, do no harm comes in many varieties. Beyond the physical, there is also a great deal of psychological and emotional components that make it a very complicated topic. But I I wish you well, and hopefully we will escape the folly that you predict. And and then I guess Galen trundles up to the doctor and Mr. Beckett.
So
Uh,
as you go up to Mr. Beckett, he reaches out. I mean, he's very frail and his arm is shaky, but he reaches away from his chair and he grabs your hand
and
and he says,
Galen grabs it back and kind of holds it in a very like you know simulacra of a
uh-huh.
tender embrace.
So from what I hear, a synthetic is going to accompany to the throne of God.
That may be how Father Samuel would put it, perhaps.
Well, I
I
can think of
wouldn't.
no better company than someone who's probably closer to myself than anyone else here.
Oh, I see. Well, uh, perhaps we have some similarities. I do not know much about you, I'm afraid, Mr. Beckett, other than the very brief and fragmentary information about you on the networks.
Yes, well, we will have, I'm sure, some time to discuss this as we make our descent. Do you know what I appreciate about Kabbalah, Galen?
I I do not know. I'm only loosely familiar with the topic.
Most people view heaven as an ascent. They, however, the Kabbalists knew that it's truly a descent that gets you to face with the throne of God. Let us go down.
Indeed. It is quite a poetic path that we walk in that case. And yeah, Galen will start pushing
Okay,
him
so
down.
you guide his hovering chair and the floating medical apparatus down the stairs. What do the rest of you do?
20 feet behind that is
Yeah,
Cole. And
so you start making your way down the stairs. Bruno follows you. The rest of the medical team follows you.
We would cap as we're going. This may be
Bruno,
folly.
So,
If that woman destroys us all, nobody will know about it.
Bruno, we're moving into confined space here. You good?
oh, I'm good. I'm good, boss.
All right. I'm trusting you. I know Marine's nothing without his firearm, so I mean, I I'd rather a bullet not be fired from a Marine that goes through my heart. All right,
Are you
let's
so Cole and Bruno go down the stairs, the medical team goes down the stairs. I guess the question are I assume Travis and Father Samuel are going down the stairs. Okay. So you're now going through this dark subway tunnel. There are only the lights from your suit is the only light available. There's this fetid looking water that's pooled in the bottom of the railway tracks. Are you going to say something, Father Samuel?
No,
Okay. It takes you a moment because Travis and Father Samuel, you're down here for a couple of minutes and you've made a few turns as Galen and you're following this tunnel. Um, and it slowly dawns on you that Tan Alex has not followed you down here.
I thought he was ahead of us. Um,
Where's that creep? That little creep.
Did he not come down the stairs? I thought that he did. Um, should we go back?
Not sure. Let's get on the on the comm. I'll be like, Cole, we lost Tan Alex.
What do you mean? He didn't follow us down?
I don't know. He's just gone. Yeah. I think maybe he stayed up above.
You need me to go back and look for him?
No, I'll take Father Samuel and we'll circle back.
All right, I'm gonna send Bruno with you. It's confined here.
Copy.
I'm good up here by myself. So,
Copy.
all right, Bruno with Cap.
On it, sir. And Father Samuel, as you turn to walk back, you hear the bells of your old seminary chiming.
Oh, Cap, do you hear bells?
No.
I
Should
think
I?
it's happening again. I'm hearing seminary bells.
And Father
It's
Samuel, you look for Cap, but he's gone. You're standing outside of the seminary. The bells that signal morning mass are happening. You can smell the pollen on the wind blowing across the garden. You're outside.
am I mentally aware that this is not where I should be?
Roll a sanity save.
Oh, I passed. Excellent.
Yeah, something's very wrong.
All right, I'm going to stand still. I'm not going to walk anywhere because I might be hallucinating. And if I walk, I might fall off a cliff or somewhere. So I'm just going to stand still. I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to keep telling myself, this isn't real. This isn't real. I don't accept this. Get out of my head. I mean you no harm. Get out of my head.
And slowly you're looking up at the seminary, and instead of the seminary, the world starts to become this blinding white light.
Not
Cap,
well. Close my eyes.
what is a memory you have of the world you grew up on?
It was a very urban environment, I think. I lived kind of like in a high rise with like thousands of units. Um, and I had to struggle for everything. And I think the underground really, the subway tunnels and things really kind of reminds me of the lower levels of living in those buildings, where you never see the light of day. It's always blocked out by buildings or structures or something. And it's just,
Yes,
feels, uh,
and that's where you recognize this block that you're on. You're under Spire 27B.
uh-huh.
Um, you hear the vendors that their voices. The leader of the gang that rules this part of the underbelly snaps behind you.
Oh,
Where the fuck
God.
you think you're going, Travis?
Nowhere, I just home,
Oh, just home.
Yeah, just
Oh,
home.
oh, how good for you. Nice and cozy.
I don't want any trouble.
Well, I mean, nobody can just walk through here for free, Travis. You know that.
Oh, come on, man. Not again.
Look,
You
you
hit me up.
fucking play the cards in my bars and you don't pay up your debts.
I'm good for
It
it.
makes me I hurt, it hurts me as a friend.
I'm good. You know, you keep taking my lunch money every time I come down the damn street. I'll never be able to pay you back.
It's called collecting on the interest, Travis.
It's it's not fair.
Fair? When the fuck did you think that life was fair, Travis? There's only the big people and the little people. And I don't know how to tell you this, Travis, but you're one of the little people. And the little people, they've got to pay the big people to protect them and keep them safe.
One of these days there's going to be someone bigger than you.
Well, I'm sure we'll square it away somehow. Make a sanity save for me, Travis.
Okay. That's a 60. That is a fail.
Yeah, I mean, you're, yeah, you're just trying to get home. Why else would you be down here?
Again. I thought this part of my life was over.
Cole, what was that image you were playing on loop in your head for Alex's displeasure?
So I spent some time on a planet in the Palace system, which is, kind of known. I mean, there's a lot of like brothels, like drug cartel operates there, a lot of just really bad stuff. And I'd spent a lot of time at a very, I guess, niche brothel with like very specific, that cater to specific clientele. And there was a lot, I mean, a lot of like really intense, like BDSM type stuff there, like hardcore. So particularly a night of that where it things may have gone a little too far for certain parties. Not that nobody like beat up or nothing turned like violent, but like Cole walked out of it like feeling like shame that he like got to a point that he didn't think he'd ever get to in that situation.
Yeah, so you are outside of that club. The air smells like cigarettes. You see Bruno's outside with you, smoking. Oh, you look a little green around the gills.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know what I'm getting into. Get a little nervous, stepping it up some.
Well, you know what I always like to say? If they pay, you stay.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, got this time off then, and who knows what the next mission is going to bring. Might as well see what life has in store and the, seedy underbelly places.
Join the Marines. See the universe, they say.
Yeah,
All its nooks and crannies, for
yep.
better or for worse.
Discover your vices and what gets you off.
Here, try a little bit of this. You'll feel better.
All right, yeah. Yeah, something to settle me down. It's not gonna, affect anything downtown, right? I'm gonna be good to go.
Why would I do anything that would affect downtown? You know
Yeah,
me.
I know, but could be pulling one over on me. But nah, I trust you. I trust you, Marine. take what he's
All
offered.
right. And as you inhale, as you smoke what he's smoking, you can make a sanity save.
Yeah. 58 is a nope. That's I've only got 21 sanity, so yeah, that's a fail.
Yeah, you inhale it and you feel that rush, that pleasant sensation. You feel everything that you just witnessed melting away.
Yeah.
Galen, as you are guiding Desmond through this, down through this tunnel, um, you slowly realize that there's no one behind you anymore.
Mr. Beckett, it appears that our entourage has fallen behind us. Hold for one moment while I attempt to contact them. Hello, Captain Brody. Mr. McIntyre. Father Samuel?
Father Samuel, you do hear that.
Yes, Galen.
Yes. I seem to have gotten out ahead of the group. Is everyone okay?
I think that we're being currently assaulted with visions. I'm seeing quite vividly the seminary where I trained. I'm pretty sure that it's Lillian doing this to us. The others, they must be distracted. I think
Are you in
it's
danger?
okay. I don't believe so. I think she's just keeping us busy. If she hasn't affected you or Mr. Desmond, Mr. Beckett, then proceed.
Yeah, and as you're talking, Father Samuel, your vision starts to clear. You know, this act of talking to Galen has rooted you back into reality, and you find yourself back in the subway tunnel.
I'm going to see if I can find the others. I expect them to be blank staring into the void, so to
Yeah, well, I mean,
speak.
these tunnels branch off on all sorts of directions, so you have no idea where anybody is. The only
Okay.
person where you know where they are is Galen and Desmond.
I I'm coming to my senses, Galen, and I don't see any of the others. In fact, I don't know where I am. Uh, I'm going to see if I can find a way out. Proceed.
I will continue to make my way ahead. I'll attempt to scan for the woman we seek, and I will mark my path as I go uh, on the floor as I make my way.
I assume it's a subway. I should be able to find an exit at some point. If
Yeah,
I
so
run into
roll.
any of the others, I'll see if I can wake them.
If you need assistance, do not hesitate to communicate.
I'll be fine.
Father Samuel, you it doesn't take too long for you to reach the exit, and you ascend the stairs, and you find Han Alex. Um, he's kind of pacing back and forth um, outside at the top of the stairs.
Mr. Alex, are you all right?
Is it done?
I don't know. I myself was overcome by a vision, uh, and then I found myself all alone. I've found my way out by chance. The others are down there somewhere, I imagine, wrapped in some sort of vision. Um, Galen is continuing to take Mr. Beckett forward. Uh, are you able to read anything?
No, it's too much. I can't. I can't go
I
down there. I can't see down there. It's taking all I can muster to just fucking stand here. And you don't have any of those syringes, do you?
no, I'm afraid not. Um, I have a number of rather repetitious prayers I can say. You can latch onto my mind. Maybe that'll clear it up. Um,
That's
I
better than
don't
nothing,
know,
I guess.
kind of meditation. So I'll do that. I'll.
Okay. So, Galen, as you're walking through, um, Desmond says, well, one of the reasons why I founded Bethesda Health was to help people. You know, that fountain touched by the angel can heal any ailment. There's no reason for sickness or disease, aging and death. We're intelligent beings. We created you. We got to the stars. Why can't we overcome the simple biological hurdle? We can manufacture people like Alex and Lillian, but why do I have to die? You're muted.
In a way, it is perhaps merely fate, you might call it. Uh, if who knows, perhaps were you born 50 years later at this same age, the technology would be readily available for you. After all, there was a time when someone in a similar position to yours may have wished to touch the stars in the same fashion, where you consider that a minor convenience that is a mere part of your life. Uh, at the same, for someone else, it would have been a fantastical goal, just as your goal now is seen as fantastical by so many. But uh, perhaps you will be the person that makes it so for the future generations. But as we continue, I do have a question, Mr. Beckett. Have you had any feeling of this Lillian's effects on your mental faculties? Have you seen anything or felt anything unusual?
I feel her worming her way around, just like they feel Alex feeling his way around. But one of the upsides of being synthetic is you can pull one over on the psionics, you see, Galen. They don't get a full read.
How much of your brain is synthetic?
Oh, I don't even remember. So many surgeries, you start to lose track.
Your own
Enough, I
per
hope, to still be me.
You are your own personal ship of Theseus, I see. Well, I suppose hopefully it is enough for her to be able to do that which you seek.
Yes, and your bio scanner starts to pick up a signal,
Oh,
very faint up ahead.
oh my. Uh, um, Mr. Beckett, we may have found your woman. Give me just one moment to communicate to my team, and we'll make our way there. Mr. McIntyre, Captain Brody, I think I may have located her. We are making our way towards her. I will continue to leave marks on the ground. Should you recover your faculties, Father Samuel, if you are receiving this.
I am. I'm out. I'm with Tam.
Oh, good, good. Well, uh, if you are able to make your way to the doctor, or if she is in the vicinity, you can let Mr. Alex know that it is again time for his shot, or rather, it is again time in which he can optionally have one of his shots.
Don't know where the doctor is, but thank you.
As you make your way to the biosignal, Travis, this man, this Maxton, he's
Okay.
caught up with you at this point, and he's jabbing you on the shoulder somewhat hardly with this bit of pipe.
Whoa, whoa, what? What do you want?
Just trying to help you get home, Travis. I mean, it'd be a lot harder to get home if something, and he taps your leg.
What do you
I'd hate
want?
for an accident to happen to you down here.
What do you want,
The
man?
dangerous
Just
place.
tell.
I want the script that's mine. You know.
I don't have it.
Oh, Travis, that hurts me. That makes me sad.
Well,
I really don't want to do this, but
look, man, I'll bring it for you next week, okay? Just I just want to go home.
well,
I promise.
he turns and he slams this pipe length into your stomach.
Oh,
Really, I get
oh,
no pleasure out of this. And he hits you again.
oh, come
But
on,
all
man.
and he does it for a third time. You're sprawled out on the ground. The wind has been knocked out of you. And he's like, all right, because you'll be such a good boy and you'll bring it to me next week, I'll let you go home. And he pats you on the cheek and he stands up and he leaves. And everybody on the street has kind of like trying to pretend like they weren't watching, but nobody comes to help you up.
Fuck this fucking planet.
You can make another
Well,
sanity save.
yeah. While I'm wiping the snot and blood off my
But,
nose.
yep.
41, another fail.
Okay. Yeah. It's time to get home. Paul, this stuff that you're ingesting is pretty heavy, it turns out. The world is starting to warp and shift around you.
Oh, fuck, Bruno, what? Oh, this is serious shit, man.
Only the best. I smoke only the best. Look, reality's overrated anyway.
Yeah, well, that's true, but I like to at least
Look, and nobody's gonna go upset our fornicators, all right?
Oh,
We're here as muscle, but they'll
yeah.
leave you alone.
Fuck.
Remember that other job? With the what were they? Those science types.
Oh yeah, I don't know that group of what were they studying? Shit, we were on that planet with them. What were they there for? Fuck. Their words or something.
Yeah, something.
Yeah,
Some
language
kind of
or
like alien scrawls on the wall.
yeah,
I
some
mean, fuck.
fucking
The things people get up to, man.
Yeah, they fucking stared at it for hours and we just sat there, could have used some of this then. That was
Yeah, but they don't
fucking,
fucking sell this on fucking desolate alien planets. You got to go where the people are to get the good shit.
yeah.
And you can make another sanity save.
All right. 92.
All right, Galen, you find off of the subway tunnel, there is there are rooms down here that are for maintenance and what have you. And the bio scanner is picking up that there's somebody in one of these rooms.
Okay. Yeah, I've kind of been making my way along with like a piece of rebar or something that I've picked up along the way, just like scratching like little like, arrows of the direction that I've gone into the ground every so often. And I'll set that down and kind of try to recalibrate my scanner and see if I can get it a little more um, pinpoint. But I'm guessing with the nature of the concrete and metal
Yeah,
down
it's a
here, it's
little,
probably not
yeah.
possible.
Mhm.
Um, well, I have good news, Mr. Beck. It appears we are quite close. Um, so you may wish to prepare whatever introductory speech you have. It seems, though, that she is not exactly excited at our presence. If the condition of my crew is anything to judge by. So we shall see. I'll leave you here for just one moment. I'm going to check these doors to make sure that they're safe, and I'll begin looking for our target. And yeah, I'm just going to
Okay,
kind
so
of set him
you
in the middle and just kind of
mhm.
start checking the doors one at a time, slowly and
Okay, so
carefully.
yeah, so you're opening them up, and it's about the fifth one that you open. You open up. Do you see that there's light coming from inside?
Um, is there any signs of habitation around,
Yeah,
like
you see some
trash
crates.
or anything?
Yeah, there's trash. You see what appears to be a box that's open full of these ration. I think you're familiar. They store them on ships. They're like protein bars. Like, you could live off of them indefinitely. Um, and you see there's just a box full of those that could keep a whole crew of people alive for years, you know, let alone one person. Um, and you see the room has been cleared, and there's this mattress in the far corner, and you see this older woman laying on it. Um, her clothes are worn, but they're still intact. Um, she's dressed in a way very similarly to uh, Alex, very soft materials or what used to be soft materials. Um, you see that her nose is bleeding, um, and she turns and she looks at you and she says,
Helmet off.
"Didn't I tell you? I just want to be alone."
I I apologize for the interruption. I have Desmond Beckett who wishes to speak with you at great personal cost to himself.
And what does this Beckett want with me?
To push the boundaries of humanity, uh, and with a hope that a discussion with you is his life's work and not folly. I apologize, though. It is not my place to speak on his behalf. Give me one moment, and I will bring him in, and I'll set down my helmet, kind of, take a polite little bow and step out of the room. Uh, Mr. Beckett, your uh, your associate, Miss Lillian, is here. I'll bring you to speak with her now. And I'm going to come around to him and wheel him in there.
Okay, you wheel him in, and he looks at Lillian, and she looks back at him. Um, and Desmond turns to you. He squeezes your hand reassuringly, and he says, "This is a private matter. If you would leave us."
Certainly. It, do you have radio communication in your chair there? If you do, call for assistance on the channel, and I will come immediately. I'm going to check on the status of my team. Thank you, madam. I hope your discussion is very productive, Mr. Beckett. I'll take my leave now, and I'll pick up my helmet again, put it back on, and take a step out, close the door behind me, and then I guess immediately turn back to the radio. Captain Brody, I have found the target.
Yeah,
Mr. Beckett is engaging in discussion with her at this moment.
Captain Brody, what is your apartment like?
Tiny. It's like a coffin size apartment. And he probably shares it with like 3 other kids his own age. They pretty much have to, like they have it's a rec room, and when they're done for the day, they have to put everything away to lay out their mattresses, and they just lay there on the floor, like directly next to each other, and that's,
Okay. And as you're getting back, you're still spitting up blood. You can make another sanity save.
Okay. Trudging up this. Oh man, another fail.
Okay, you lay your mattress onto the floor and you go to sleep.
Okay.
And Galen, I assume you go through the list and eventually you call Mr. McIntyre. Mr. McIntyre,
Yeah.
everything's lost in a sea of colors and sounds and voices. You're not sure if you're still standing guard or if you're on the floor. Like this is heavy shit.
Bruno. No, never again. Not no. This is too much, man.
Oh, come on. His voice sounds echoey and far away.
I don't even know if I'm on my feet or my head is so fucking heavy.
Your tolerance is so fucking low, Cole.
Fuck, dude.
Just stand there and be cool.
Just be all right, be cool.
And you can make a sanity save.
All right. That is a 75.
Okay. Galen, no one seems to respond.
Not even Father Samuel?
Oh, Father Samuel
Yeah.
responds.
Okay. Well,
Everything's fine up here. Tam
I've seen
says he
no
needs his injection, but we don't have any.
I've seen no sign of any of the remainder of the team. I could begin backtracking your way and deliver the injections.
They're somewhere in the tunnels, but yeah, just come back here and we'll hopefully whatever she's doing to them, she'll release them. And is Mr. Beckett still with you?
He is currently in discussions with Miss Lillian.
You found her.
Yes,
Uh,
she was less than enthusiastic about our presence, but I did
well,
inform her.
maybe after she talks to him, you can tell her to please turn this thing off, whatever it is.
I will endeavor to do so, but I can
And
imagine.
Alex laughs when you say that, Father Samuel. He laughs and he spits up blood.
I can imagine that she already knows that once she is done with Mr. Beckett, that we have no remaining reason to stay here.
We'll get away post haste. But Mr. Alex, is she not able to control this? These seem like
Turn it
calculated
off.
attacks.
Like she can turn it off.
Can she direct it in other directions? I don't know.
Too
Hello?
close. We got too close to her. She tried to warn us.
I'll return with Mr. Alex's injection and attempt to locate the captain, Mr. McIntyre, and the rest of the uh, expedition on my way. I will
Yeah,
see you
so
shortly.
on your way back, roll your choice of speed or intellect.
Definitely intellect. Okay. Yeah, and I'm trying to find them with my with the bioscanner while I'm
Yep.
going along. Okay, that is a 16 out of 57. So yep,
Okay.
quite a bit.
So, Galen, the choice is yours. Do you find Captain Brody or do you find Mr. McIntyre?
Well, Mr. McIntyre had gone out ahead. So I imagine he's probably the one I'm more likely to run into. Also, he hasn't been. Also, Captain Brody's visions, as we've seen in the past, tend to lead him off into side paths. So I imagine that's likely to continue.
Okay, so you find Hull laid out on the ground in one of these side tunnels.
Is he alone or is
He is
his?
alone.
Oh. Does Cole have any stims or anything on his person?
Yes, he does. He has
I
combat stim.
Okay. Hmm. Well, first, I'm gonna try to smack him awake. I'll, flip open his helmet visor and actually like reach inside and just gently smack his cheek and then roughly smack his cheek and then shake him a little bit. And if none of these return him awake, then it's, I guess, time to go all space Pulp Fiction on him.
Just inject him in the chest. Okay, yeah, it takes the stims, and Hull, suddenly your trance state with the drugs. You start gasping for air.
Oh, fuck. Open my eyes and Jesus, fuck.
Okay. Roll, you gain 1d10 stress,
Okay.
and then make a panic test for me.
Okay, that's 5 stress. So up to 11 total. And then panic. Is that
Roll a 1d20.
okay? That's rolled an 11. Oh, is that comparing it to against my stress?
Yeah, is that above or below your stress for equal
It
to?
is exactly the same.
Okay, so you fail, I think. No, if you roll greater than, okay, so you hold it together.
Okay.
Barely.
Ah,
So, yeah.
oh God, Galen. The fuck did you do to me?
You were insensate. I was unable to wake you. I was very concerned.
Oh well.
Um,
Oh, well, whatever it was, thank you, I guess. What the fuck?
I'm not certain exactly what happened to you. I assume it is the influence of Lillian. I do have some good news on that front, however. Dr. Beckett, or sorry, Mr. Beckett is currently speaking with her, so perhaps we can be out of here soon. Um, I intend to bring you up to Father Samuel, who is currently waiting on the surface with Mr. Alex, and well, hopefully we can find the remaining members of the expedition. It appears everyone was uh, heavily affected when they came down here.
So you don't have Bruno or the captain?
Not yet, no. Bruno was not with you.
All right, real quick. Cap, Cap, come through.
He has not
So,
been answering comms, not for
then,
the last hour at least.
then Bruno, Bruno, you awake?
Yeah,
You
as you're making the rounds of calls, we'll put it this way. Cap, make one last sanity save.
Negative.
Okay, yeah. Cap does not respond.
Bruno, come on, Bruno, you with me, man?
No response.
Fuck. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I guess let's get me to Father Samuel, and we'll just kind of poke our heads in everywhere we can along the way and see if we see anybody.
Yes, let's get you to your feet
Ah,
and make
Okay,
haste.
the two of you make your way back. You don't find anybody else, but you ascend the stairs back out into the daylight.
fuck.
And
Ah,
you see Alex sees you, Galen. He's like, thank God, do you have a shot for me, please?
As a matter of fact, I do. And
Unfortunately, Cole only wants to deal with one psionic and is coming forward to put the butt of his rifle right into Alex's face.
Roll combat for me.
That's what I was going to tell Bruno to do if I got through to him.
it's not his fault. No.
19 under 49.
Okay, yeah, you knock him to the ground.
Yeah,
please, Mr. McIntyre, stop.
I am only dealing with one fucking psionic, and it was just a matter of which one I saw first that was going down, and it was this fuck right here.
I think he tried to warn us and we didn't understand. It's
Well,
proximity. The closer we are to Lillian, the more impossible it is for us to not participate.
how
I
do
don't
we know
think
this?
she's.
How do we know that this? Okay, before I say that, never mind. You told me that Mr. Beckett's with Lillian. Never mind. I'm
Yes,
not going to question the reality of Lillian.
Yeah, we do need to get away from here. But if we can find some way to recover our people, I'm not
unfor-
sure we can do that unless this Lillian leaves.
I mean, the only option we have, I guess, is Galen. You just keep going through there because you're unaffected. I mean, I guess if we go back down in there, it's
I
Will
would
be
not
affected.
recommend that.
yeah.
I
Uh,
do have a bioscanner. It's how I was able to locate you, Mr. McIntyre. However, it is of limited utility in the corridors below due to the construction of the area.
you
And
could
as
But
you're
search systematically and just carry them out if you can.
that
Even
is the
if
as
they're
goal.
you're
unconscious, I think if we got them on the ship and left, they would regain their sense of reality.
as you're talking, Desmond Beckett walks up the stairs.
Mr. Beckett, you're walking.
Yes, I believe. And he dusts himself off. It is time for us to depart.
While our people are still down there, we need to retrieve them.
We are departing, Father Samuel. Galen, I assume that you're capable of flying the ship in Captain Brody's absence?
That I am. Mr. McIntyre?
We're not leaving the captain. Galen, you need to go find him.
Indeed. I apologize, Mr. Beckett. Uh, you must brook at least one more delay while I seek out our captain, and I will be uh, once I attempt to retrieve him, and if I'm able to bring him back or find indication that he's irretrievable in some way, we can then make our way out once Mr. McIntyre deems it so. Father Samuel, if you don't mind, please hold on to Mr. Alex's medicine for me. Do
Yes.
not distribute any more to him until an hour has elapsed.
How much time?
Oh, 2 minutes currently.
I see. Okay.
I mean, if you insist on wasting all of our time, Galen.
We all
I am not the
insist.
expedition leader. Mr. McIntyre is.
Yeah, and I'm fine wasting as much time as I got. So, unless you're asking to fly the ship, your ass is staying with me.
Mr. Mr. Beckett, did you find what you were looking for?
I did, but we are not welcome here anymore. It is time for us to leave.
Seem pretty unaffected. You can go with Galen and help find the rest of them, and then we can get the fuck out of here.
A deal's a deal, Mr. McIntyre.
Does he, are his mechanical parts still there? Does he look healthier? Has he been rebuilt?
None of you have any medical scanning equipment, so you don't know.
Uh-oh.
And Galen goes walking off down the stairs looking for the captain.
Return to
may be
the
a
ship if you
deal.
want.
I don't think
Okay.
leaving my captain behind was part of any deal.
Okay, Galen. Roll 1d10.
Okay. A 4.
You wander down there for 4 hours. And you finally come across Captain Brody.
No one else before him, just Captain Brody.
Just Captain Brody.
Okay. What's his condition? Similar to Cole's?
Similar to Cole's.
Okay. I'm guessing Captain Brody doesn't have any stims on him.
No.
In that case,
You still have the stims from McIntyre.
okay. In that case, it's the same thing then. I'm gonna, slowly try to wake him up and get increasingly physical until shaking him.
You get increasingly physical, you inject him with stims, and Captain Brody does not wake back up.
Hmm. Hmm. That's unfortunate. Does he have a pulse?
His body's alive.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna pick him up and start carrying him out.
Okay. So after 4 hours, a very impatient Desmond Beckett says, "Finally, Christ," as Galen comes back up the stairs with Captain Brody.
Shit, Cap. Go over there, like, kind of shake him, it's like, Is he alive? I mean,
He's alive, but entirely unresponsive.
did
Even
you?
the stimulants had no effect on him.
All right.
That is a bad sign. We should get him back to the ship so he can be more properly diagnosed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got to get him farther away from here. Yes.
Yeah. Maybe that'll do it. Just get him far away and it'll disconnect. As Alex woke up.
Alex is still rather unresponsive.
Okay. I mean,
We'll have to carry him too.
If you would like to carry the captain, Mr. McIntyre, I can carry Alex. Perhaps that would be more comfortable for both of us.
I can carry the captain. I'm not ordering anybody to bring Alex, so it's on your own moral compass if that's what you want to do. I don't care to leave him there.
What about the medical team?
I was unable to locate any sign of any of them.
Turn to Beckett. What about your medical team?
I don't see how I need them anymore.
Mr. McIntyre, you're in charge of the expedition. They're not part of the crew, so I am not obligated to retrieve them, but
You didn't run across any of them.
no.
I'm afraid they may have wandered away too far.
I'm getting the captain to the ship. If anyone, I think we need to get out of here. So
We have to get out of here. We've
Yeah.
been here too long.
Yeah.
We're going to
Should
start
we?
hallucinating again.
So I'm carrying the captain.
Mr. McIntyre, should I retrieve your second? Should I look for him as well? I did not see him while searching for the captain.
Fuck, Bruno. Shit. I mean, he's part of the crew. I, we're going to go to the ship. I'm going to take the captain to the ship. You go do just a search for 20 or 30 minutes, and then follow up with us. But I got to get the captain away from here. If he wakes up, then we can spend more time, you know, trying to locate Bruno.
Father Samuel, do you think you can perhaps carry Mr. Alex for part of the way until I am able to catch up?
I can certainly try. Yes.
Thank you.
I do believe I have. Let's see. How's my strength? Hey, I managed to do it.
Okay,
Wasn't
yeah,
easy.
you carry Alex. Cole, if you
Yeah.
want to roll to carry Captain
Okay.
Brody.
That's a 04.
Okay, yeah, you
Ooh.
can carry Captain Brody, no problem.
There
Galen,
we go.
you search around. You can't. There's no sign of Bruno.
Eh, well, I mean, I was under orders to search for a half hour, and so that's how long I searched before packing it in. I'm going to kind of like carve signs in the ground of the direction to get out. And just, in a couple of spots, carve like reach surface, use radio, and make my way back up to catch up with everybody at
Hey,
a nice inhuman jog.
you catch up easily to Cole and Father Samuel. Um, but as you reach them, you have no idea where Mr. Beckett went.
Hmm. Father Samuel, Mr. McIntyre, have you seen Mr. Beckett?
Well, he was walking with us, but he was very impatient. He might be already at the ship.
No, Bruno.
No, I'm afraid I did not find him or any other signs of the medical team.
Fuck. God damn it,
I'm
I was hoping
afraid
you would find him.
my greatest fear is that when we get the medical equipment and scan the captain, there might not be anything. He doesn't seem to be having any physical reactions to discomfort. I don't know that he's mentally there any longer, but we'll have to see.
Perhaps when Mr. Alex awakes, he may be able to consult on the issue. In the meantime, Let me set the bioscanner to maximum range, see if I can find any sign of our employer, and also, look around. Do you see tracks? Did he get out ahead of us?
We
You
see the
set your
tracks that we
bios.
already. Yeah, go
You
ahead.
look at the tracks that you already made, and there's only 2 sets of footprints. 3 if you count Galen's.
I did not see him on the way uh, from the underground to here.
Well, he said something about a deal. We don't know what that deal is, but let's get back to the ship. There's nothing we can do at this point.
Yeah. I gotta get Cap on a bed and start scanning him to see if we can figure out what's going on.
Certainly, Mr. McIntyre. And Father Samuel, I will take Mr. Alex for you.
Of course. Bear in mind what I'd said at the beginning of this whole adventure, that God made people die so that they didn't become demons, that they didn't become evil. I'm wondering, he was no longer in a wheelchair. He seemed to have been healed in some way, and he certainly had no compassion on anyone else in the team. I hope he doesn't try to fly the ship away before we get there.
That would be quite unfortunate. If that is the case, then let us hope the rumors that people come by to smuggle and hide things on the planet is true, because we will need a way off here. We should make haste. And double time it back to the ship.
Yeah.
Okay. The 3 of you, with your unconscious companions, reach the ship. There is no one aboard.
All right, I get the captain to a medical bed or something and
Yeah.
start a scan, just a basic scan that would probably know how to do just to get a initial sense of if there's anything going on.
There's nothing alive on the surface of this planet.
How about inside of Ray? Is there any
All
electrical
scans of
activity?
Captain Brody, there is no trace left of brain activity.
He's now our favorite vegetable.
Alex wakes back up.
Welcome once again to the world of the living.
Unfortunately.
I'm
So,
afraid I have some bad news. It appears that your benefactor is going to be staying on the planet. Either that, or he has engaged in some method of non-physical transcendence that I am not prepared to speculate on. I suppose which of the two of those is more likely would be a question of whether your sense of hope or impending folly win out in your personal estimation.
well, I have a feeling none of us will be seeing Mr. Beckett again.
Welcome.
Anything you
Let's
can do
go.
for the captain? I mean,
I'll say some prayers over him, but I don't think he's there anymore. I wonder where he
Unlike the
is.
rest of you, your captain is mercifully quiet.
Mr. Cole, please take us home.
It would appear you are our new captain, Mr. Cole, at least temporarily.
All
What are
right.
your orders?
I guess get us off this fucking planet. God damn it.
Affirmative. Please, everyone, take to your seats. Strap in for exfiltration and prepare to leave atmosphere.
I was
Okay.
just sick at the thought of leaving a fellow Marine behind, but doesn't really see another option.
And as Robin's flight takes off from Hermes 7, that is where our scenario ends.
Ah,
So where is he?
Oh, that
Did he
was
ever exist? That's my question. Were they ever real?
that was my thought for a minute until Galen saw Lillian, and I was like, well, they can't fuck with his mind, so she must just,
Oh, yeah, I think it's of note that Beckett said it's difficult for them to affect the minds of synthetics.
yeah, so
He never left that room.
he never left that room.
at the first sign
We're
of
all
mine.
in pods plugged into a computer somewhere. None of this happened at all. It's just Gaia Research doing more of their infernal tests.
Real or not, the first sign of mind fuckery, and Alex is finding his way out an airlock.
Oh, there's always tomorrow. Okay, but so give us some idea of the story, Morgan.
Yeah, so there was rumors about Hermes 7 of a psionic who's fled there, who's capable of performing miracles. Desmond Beckett, desperate to extend his life, assembled the team, you all, to go find her, including the psionic and Alex, who he had had in his employ in order to spy on anybody he was doing business deals with, members of the board, corporate espionage. So he brought Alex to locate this person, the psionic of this immense capacity. And so for his journey to try to come to her so she could work a miracle, ended up with the loss of almost everyone he took with him.
And did she work a miracle for him?
No. His ascendance up the stairs was one last gambit to get you to leave. One final hallucination.
Ah, ha, 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 ha. Cool. Well, damn it, she could have hallucinated that we found all of our crew. I felt bad that we left our medical team. And
It reminds me
Brody.
of like old kings where they used to kill like their entire household to bury them with them, like dogs and all.
Oh.
You know.
Yeah. There's a really good scene in an old movie about that I thought was really cool. Anyway, let me go ahead and finish up.
All right.
Our players included Stefan Amschi, Kent Blue, Luke Strom, and myself with Morgan Llewellyn as the game warden. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the fine arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you would like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page where you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the strange and sometimes terrifying universe of the Mothership role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.